All right. What's good, YouTube? It is your boy, Big Cool, back with a live stream for the first time in a long time, but I got some of the most knowledgeable dudes in all the sports, not just boxing. But right now, we about to talk some boxing. From Truth and Fact Sports Talk, my boy, Bo. And from DMV Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, excuse me, my boy, John JG. We about to talk about the Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia aftermath. And you know how we do when we get on this shit. We're going to talk about everything. But first up, my boy Bo want to take the floor and let you biased casual fans or whatever you want to categorize y'all know some about facts about boxing. Let's go, man.
All right, man. Here's the reality, dog. You know, it used to be where we would say these dudes were casual fans, right? You know what I'm saying? All they casual fans, mean, you know, they watch boxing or they watch like, you know, certain fighters and, you know, certain fights, like big fights. Like casual fans would catch you would see at big fights. Like you look at guys like Jack Nicholson and Mark Wahlberg, any fight in Staples Center, you always see, I don't give a fuck who was fighting, right? But when you talking to Will Smiths and Michael Jordan, they casuals. They show up for big fights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They show up for big fights. And these casual fans, these so-called casual fans, they ain't casual fans, dog. What they are people that hate certain entities or certain fighters, right? So they only pay attention to see them lose or to talk shit about him. That's it. But they're not even fucking casual. They just motherfuckers that hate the sport, hate a certain fighter, and so they tune in to talk shit, because anybody that wants to downplay what we saw Errol Spence do, right? Or want to not give credit to what we saw Mikey do. I'm sorry, dog. You just I'm not wasting my time talking boxing with you, because the reality was, even Earl said it himself, man, everybody thought he was going to just run over Mikey, which is what everybody thought. He going to impose it with and run over Mikey. This motherfucker outboxed the boxer. He showed us a different wrinkle to his game. He finally showed us that, hey, that footwork that we talk about, that stand on the center line, that goddamn defense, that moving ahead. He showed us all that shit, man. He dominated. Like, you know what's fucked up is, either way it go, those kind of people was always gonna, you know, not give Earl credit. Like they already had in their mind not to give him credit. You know, whether it was he runs over Mikey, well, it was Mikey, he moved up in weight, right? Or it was he goes 12 rounds with him. Oh, he ain't shit. He went 12 rounds with him. Now, them same motherfuckers, of course, will be cheering their ass off when Terrence Crawford fights Amir Khan, who has not held a belt since 2011, nor has he fought for a world championship since 2016. Them same motherfuckers have cheered Lomachenko and Rigo, and then they'll try to use that excuse. You know how motherfuckers are. They try to use this excuse to validate their point, dog, by saying, well, the Lomachenko situation was different because he was trying to fight Orlando Salido, but Rigo was fucking with him. Errol Spence was trying to fight Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. Matter of fact, he ran in the ring on Sean Porter, but Mikey Garcia was fucking with him. What the fuck is you talking about? You know?
Exactly.
So it's the same, dog. It's just, to them, they can't listen, man. When you start, this is the reason why I call that type of shit, they casuals. I mean, they're not casuals. They haters, because they have an agenda, and they can't ever go against that fucking agenda. It hurts them to their soul. It hurts them, man, because they don't know what to talk about. So, you know, bottom line was, and I don't want to go too far because I know we're going to get into it. I want to hear what my man got to say that's on with his first time, you know, having him on, you know, good to meet him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't know how motherfuckers be Dallas Cowboy fans, but I'm with it. But hey, look, I'm old, man. I go back in the days when Roger Staubach was the motherfucking quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But you think about this for a second, man. From on a successful basis, this was the third highest attendance fight in the United States. 47,000 people went. They almost filled that fucking stadium up. Okay, yeah. That right there speaks for itself, right? We saw an Errol Spence Jr. dominate, not in the fashion of overwhelming the fighter. We saw him dominate a fighter in Mikey Garcia's caliber, dog, for damn near 12 motherfucking rounds. So I was impressed with what I saw in this, and we'll go into it as we go on. But anybody that look at this fight and don't give Mikey Garcia credit for his heart, not at one point did Mikey Garcia, and I thought I'm like, man, and because we was in the chat, like, man, Robert finna stop this fucking fight.
Yep. I thought for a fact, but I'm gonna let my boy JG jump in, you know, reply to that Dallas Cowboy dig, and then talk about expand on what Bo was talking about as well as give your thoughts.
Oh yeah, and I'm from Chicago, by the way, so you got plenty of shit to talk about this.
Yeah, it's actually funny, Bo, because I'm from the DC area where it's Redskin heavy out here, and but you know, like my whole family grew up Redskin fans, so you know I had to naturally go against the cloth, just like we go against the cloth with a lot of these boxing haters out there. That's exactly why I like the Dallas Cowboys. It's just in my nature. So, but to go into it a little bit further, man, just to talk about the event itself, this is the second event that Jerry Jones partnered up with Errol Spence, and I mean, yeah, the card was crap. We can talk about that. Like the card was absolute crap. As a matter of fact, the main event was longer, like by itself, than any of the other fights that night. But we ain't gonna talk about that. They got to get a little bit better matchmaking. But what I will say is, it was an excellent event, and then the one in Frisco was an excellent event as well. So I'm not the biggest Jerry Jones fan in the world, but I do think that what we saw from Errol Spence the last two times they got together, that it's becoming a legitimate fight, a real legitimate fight town again. Like, yes, Canelo and Smith fought there too, right?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
Yeah, and Manny and
Margarito and Claudia.
Yeah. So they fought there, but I did not feel the same type of electric that I felt last night. And so I look forward to any of the events that they're going to have there. I've been saying it, you know, and I'm just looking at it from this perspective. I think that Jerry Jones and that stadium or that town with the Mexican population that they have and how they showed up last night could be a very good player in the boxing community. And it really showed with the guys that fought last night who were next tier. They weren't Canelo. They weren't Joshua. They weren't Mayweather. And you saw what they were able to generate. And I'm curious to see what the pay-per-view is going to be, because I know that a lot of my casual friends ordered it, or they went to a bar to go watch it. So I'm curious to see what the numbers are going to be. But I thought last night was fantastic for Errol Spence, for Mikey in their careers. And I don't, by any stretch of the imagination, think that this hurt Mikey at all. Going back to what Bo said about, you know, Garcia, or maybe one of you guys talking about Garcia getting ready to, you know, stop the fight. I think Mikey knew that if they stopped that damn fight, the Mexicans was going to turn that place out last night. So I got to give him credit for that as well. But I think he knew that.
Yeah, I mean,
Big Cool. Go ahead. I just want to say one thing, man. You said about the undercards. I think the undercards served the purpose. I'm not gonna. If anybody want to say they was shit, I don't. I'm not gonna argue with that, right? I just think that they served a purpose. They were to, which was to reintroduce us to those fighters for the next big fights that's coming up for them. So it's like it's kind of like David. I mean, we all knew David Benavidez was going to be Jalen Love. Chris Arreola. The one I did like was that Cat Delgado. I definitely did like that one. You know, Louis Neary. I think the undercard was to these were guys that they're trying to reintroduce, because, you know, like I could see them trying to figure out a way to put Chris Arreola in there, somewhere in there for Wilder to fight. I could see them trying to, you know, build David Benavidez and Anthony Durrell and going into a big fight with Benavidez and Caleb Plant. So I think the undercard served that purpose in showing us, hey, these guys will dominate you if you're not on that level.
I definitely agree, because Louis Neary and David Benavidez got the potential to be superstars. I was very impressed with Louis Neary. He just completely destroyed a former world champion in McJoe Arroyo. It not to take away from the main event, but, you know, to Bo's point, I mean, it did serve a purpose. And if Al Heyman could really market these guys, I'm not saying Neary so much, because he had to do a lot to become, you know, a pay-per-view attraction or a big attraction. But in the case of Spence and David Benavidez, if he can actually market these guys, and in Benavidez's case, he stay out of trouble, he can really have something. It can shift back to pay-per-view, even though we love the free, you know, network television boxing. But one or two big events a year isn't too much to ask in terms of, you know, the paying fan, if these guys are built up as well as their competition. So I think Benavidez and Neri and Spence were the big winners last night because those guys are phenomenally skilled. They all have power. They all have aggressive fighting styles. They can box as well. So I think that if Al Haymon can continue to market and promote these guys the right way and they can continue to get better, I mean, it'll be interesting to see other entities out there who have fighters in the same division or around the same division, how their guys progress as well. So I mean, it's all great, man, to see these guys, continue to, improve themselves and further their careers and get that notoriety out there. But like you said, JG, Texas, man, it's a boxing hotbed. If you can get that judging right, we thank God it wasn't no fluky ass scorecards last night. But if you can get that the judging right, down pack where they have competent, judges, Texas, man, could be up there with Vegas and New York, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying it's gonna take away, but when you got fighters like Spence, I'm pretty sure Spence love to fight in New York or Vegas. But when you at home, why? He can be like the Mayweather to Texas. You got to come to Texas if you want to fight me. You know what I'm saying? He can build something, different than what we accustomed to than just fighting New York and Las Vegas. He can kind of almost have that Anthony Joshua feel to, well, now I can now they really want me in New York or Vegas bad, I'll go over there. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's already fought in the Barclays before. But y'all kind of get my drift, man. He can make himself the wanted guy, so they're gonna overpay for his event, whether it's Showtime, DAZN, or whoever it may be in the future, and he could be really a truly transcendent star, man, if he can continue on to fight these top guys and and win.
I think you hit something on the nail about the scorecards. This was the first time, dog, that you heard a 117. Whatever, 118 scorecard and wasn't going to get an argument for me. It's like 120, 108, you wouldn't have got an argument for me. That's how dominant he was in that performance against Mikey Garcia. You know what I'm saying? So that speaks volumes. Also, I think that what you're getting to about Texas, and again, if you go to 3kingsboxing.com, I actually wrote an article about fighters coming out of Texas about, how this is really turning into something, because the reality is, man, I've, been to fights in Texas. Okay. We get credentials. I'm gonna tell you, you're absolutely right, dog. It is a whole different fucking atmosphere down there, man. They got the clubs, they got the bars, but then the stadium itself has like a little mini field behind that stadium where it's almost like a little tourist attraction, dog, like real talk. So yeah, I get what you're saying. And the fact that a guy like this, what speaks really volumes to me is the fact that a guy like Jerry Jones, a billionaire, a owner of a football team, is looking to get behind and do something with Errol Smith. That alone speaks volumes, man.
Spence. But yeah, you're right. I mean, and then the South has so much, the food, what I'm saying, everything. And it's like I said, say if this was in the regular season or something like that, football season, where you had an off week, but you got so much. You got baseball while you're down there coming from out of town. You got to catch a baseball game. You catch whatever. You got the Dallas Stars, I think, at the team. They still got an NHL team, Dallas.
I think so, but I can't call it, bro. I'm not too sharp on hockey like that.
But y'all get what I'm saying. You got so much you can do leading up to the fight, along with the fight week activities, that, I mean, Texas could really become the third or fourth, place to stage big boxing events. And like Brandon said, having these fights in these stadiums may make it more affordable than having them at the, MGM or whatnot, or the T-Mobile Arena. But like I said, man, bigger the fighter is, the more in demand is going to come in. And it's just going to be well for everybody that's involved. I want to touch on what Bo was saying earlier, and I got my boy Smooth Cat that just hopped on. To his point about discrediting either Mikey or Errol Spence, it would be a disservice if you're a true boxing fan. You know what I'm saying? If you're a true boxing fan, you're going to give both guys credit, because it wasn't like Errol sought this fight. Sean up there, and you see how goofy Sean is. He laughing like these. It's like these motherfuckers almost flirting with Errol Spence. You got Keith Thurman. So hey, EJ, how what do you got to do to beat Mikey to become the second best, welterweight in the world? He joking with Errol, but Errol want to break this motherfucker's ribs. He want to hurt this motherfucker. So he already flirting and shit, and then you got Sean Porter laughing at the little joke he said about his suit. Like, it ain't nothing funny about a dude that's clowning y'all, and the whole world is witnessing that y'all don't want to fight. He ain't clowning Terrence Crawford like this, and you can say because of Top Rank, they ain't got to fight right now or not. When he speak of Terrence Crawford, he's speaking with respect. You know what I'm saying? The respect for Keith Thurman and Sean Porter stops at them lacing their gloves up, because obviously – he feel like these motherfuckers ducking me. They rather be at my fights and ask me questions instead of fight me. And both saying, well, I want to fight him. I get my comeback for Keith Thurman, and then I want to fight him. I ain't scared of none of Sean Porter. Like, y'all motherfuckers make yourself look like clowns, man. And y'all holding up the process of the unification undisputed of the welterweight division. So hopefully, man, we can clear this shit out soon and get these fighters that really want to fighting. And the ones that don't want to fight, get the fuck up off the toilet, man, because y'all holding up other motherfuckers that want to take a shit. You know what I'm saying? What are y'all thoughts on that?
Man, look, you couldn't have said it any better, dog. Like, here's the crazy thing about Porter and Thurman. Their whole energy is completely different when Earl is there or when Earl is saying certain things. Anybody else, like, for example, Danny Garcia, when Porter got around Danny Garcia, it was totally different. He got into that whole wrestling, whatever the hell he was doing.
Burger King, motherfucker, yeah.
Yeah, he got into all that bullshit. But when Earl there, oh, no. Now I want to become an analyst. Same thing with Thurman. Just like you brought up. It's like, oh, I want to become an analyst while you there. But as a fighter, Earl is like, look, I want to fight your ass. And it's not being reciprocated back. Like, I don't know what else to say other than, like you said, if you ain't ready to fight, man, you know what I'm saying? Give up the strap, man. Give up the strap.
Keith did it once already. All he gotta do is give up that WBA here. Manny old, but at least that motherfucker fight. You know what I'm saying? Even though he really don't want to fight Spence either.
Oh yeah. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that.
We gonna touch on that too.
Yeah.
What up, Brandon? I got one of my subscriber supporters, man. First time on the show, man. What's up, man? Introduce yourself to everybody.
Brandon Maurice, man, out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Big time boxing fan. Just excited to be on talking to, fellow boxing junkies. So what's on with everybody?
You out there with you live out there where my sister stayed, man. So shout out to Cincinnati. Oh shit. Got the Prodigy on, man. The head show up at Three Kings Boxing. He was all in the house last night, man. Giving y'all that great content. 2K, what's good, man?
What's good, family? Man, hey, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. I'm going to tell y'all niggas how dedicated I am to my staff. I ain't even brushed my motherfucking teeth yet, nigga.
Yeah, we can hear it.
You know what I'm saying?
You like you just woke up, bro.
All right, my man said, "Yo,
very white voice and shit." Well, good.
Exactly. My man said, "Yo, I gotta hang out." I said, "You still got it?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Fuck it, I'll jump on."
Hey, look. You know how late we was up working. I just fell asleep an hour before he buzzed me, and I was like, "All right, man, just send it to me."
Man, I took I don't know y'all know who he is. World Breaker Fighting. I took that nigga home last night because he didn't have a ride and shit, man. I didn't get home till like 5 a.m., bro, because that nigga lives in Fort Worth, which is an hour and a half away from me.
Damn.
So, yeah, dog. That's why I'm waking up late. But what y'all casual ass niggas talking about, man?
Yeah, nigga. Hey, we talking about shit. We didn't talk about a lot of shit, man. Bo had a message for the casuals or whatever you want to categorize.
They're not casuals. I told you.
Or whatever. The unknown. We call them the unknown.
Yeah, the niggas ain't motherfuckers. Listen, casuals are motherfuckers like when you think about Jack Nicholson, Mark Wahlberg, right? You'll see them at the Staples Center whenever whatever fight come on. Right. But like casuals is like the Michael Jordans and the Magic Johnsons. They only showing up for the, you know what I'm saying, for big shit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You know, they like how your grandmama used to be, like how old black grandmamas used to be. The credit card for big shit. You know,
right.
right? You know, I ain't using the credit card to buy no gym shoes. No, that's a big shit. That's what that. So these motherfuckers ain't casual because these are motherfuckers that hate on an entity or a fighter, and they only show up to talk shit about that one motherfucker, and they push that agenda so tough that even when they see something that should be impressive, they got to downplay it. Why? Because they can't let go of that because that's their identity. That's why them niggas ain't casuals.
Well, there's a lot of them that are popular. Like, I ain't gonna say no names, Dan Rayfield, but they show up only when they got to say something about certain fighters and stuff. It was funny last night, man. People was faking like a bitch last night, bro. A lot of the what people would say are the top journalists in this game, which in reality they're not. If you talk to a motherfucker and say, hey man, break down what you just saw in that round, he'll say some stupid shit. Oh, he did a jab and a left hook. You know what I'm saying? They can't do nothing. They can't break a fight down to save their life. You know what I'm saying? But those particular guys, they fake so much, dog. Whenever a spectacular fight has happened, let me just say that. I just put a story out there. I want one of you guys to write it whenever we get off. Oscar De La Hoya came sniffing around Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Good fight last night. If you want to make some real money, you'll join the zone. Errol Spence was like, man, you don't treat black fighters well. Like, get the fuck out of here sniffing around me, man. I'm trying to fake and shit. You know what I'm saying? You had Steve Kim sitting right next to me at the press conference, post-fight press conference, faking.
He's still alive. You ain't kill that nigga, man.
Hey, man, listen, man, I'm trying to get y'all the content. I ain't give a fuck about him.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. He's sitting right next to me faking, dog. You know what I'm saying? He don't like PBC, nor does he like any of these other fighters that run with PBC that's not named the Charlo brothers, and he likes them because of the controversy that they bring. He just started liking them.
He picked Garcia to win against Spence.
But he was banned from PBC. He was banned from PBC for a while.
Right. Yeah. But he's there now. But yeah, you're right, Jarrell, because if you heard the press conference, I don't know if you watched it, when he said, yeah, I got a question, Errol Spence goes, nah, man, you picked Mikey Garcia to beat me, man. He said that.
and he been calling everybody hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he has. Errol Spence might end up being more hated than he expected to be pretty soon, man. I'm just looking at his demeanor and how he was answering questions last night. Yeah, dog, he might end up being more hated than expected. That might happen, man.
Hey, it might be. Hold on. Make sure. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Corey done took care of that story already. That's what's up.
Yeah,
See, I knew Corey's black power ass would have jumped on that shit quick.
You silly dog. So yeah, man. So I got a question for Cats on the panel. I think Jarrell fiance is bugging him. He didn't get approval this early. I got a question for Cats on the panel, man. Was this was this Errol Spence sending a statement to everybody? Thurman, Porter, the haters, people, the doubters, even Terence Crawford himself, that I'm not a one-dimensional fighter. I can dominate you more than one way. Was this that Errol Spence that we all was hoping to see, and we saw it in this fight against this type of fight against Mikey Garcia?
Hey, can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Absolutely, man. I think that's exactly what he did. And I hate to say that I knew this shit was gonna happen like this, but I knew it was gonna happen.
No, man, say it, man. Pump your chest out. Shit.
I mean, people make it seem like Errol Spence is motherfucking Alfredo Angulo or Antonio Margarito or somebody. Like he's just a straight, come forward, slow, plodding mummy with some power. And if you remember the Kell Brook fight, he didn't get Kell Brook out of there fast. He was patient. He jabs. He took his time. He was methodical, and he broke him down. So I don't know why everybody thought Errol Spence was just if he can't get you out there in 4 rounds, he couldn't box a 12-round fight. We've seen him do it before. And all these motherfuckers that were saying, Mikey was smarter, Mikey was more intelligent. I think that's what pissed Errol off the most, because It made it seem like they thought Earl was just a big dumb black fighter with some power, man. And I can kind of that's what I was trying to read into. I'm thinking like, why are you making it seem like Earl is just a big dumb motherfucker? And he ain't got no ring IQ, and he ain't ring generalship, and he ain't savvy around the ring, and he's just a motherfucker that come forward and just punch and look for the knockout. And I just knew that wasn't true. And I knew Mikey didn't have a chance. Because I think about the two fighters who've done what Mikey was trying to do. You think of Roberto Duran and Shane Mosley. Roberto Duran had.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Sugar Ray. You got to think Roberto Duran had rare knockout power and was gritty as fuck. Mikey don't possess that rare power and grit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Sugar Ray and Shane Mosley had once in a lifetime rare speed. Quick hands, twitchy reflexes. Right. Mikey don't have that either.
Right.
So I don't understand what people thought he had that was just going to be superior as far as what skill set that he had that was going to be superior enough for him to come up and make that happen. I knew it wasn't going to happen. Only thing that didn't happen that I thought was going to happen is I thought Earl was going to knock him the fuck out later in the fight, but he went to all 12. But like I said, man, I don't understand why people thought Mikey had a chance in this fight.
It was his IQ and his positioning. That's what people. Mikey Garcia has pretty good footwork. It's not excellent, but he has good footwork. He's excellent at positioning himself. He's excellent at throwing angles at people. Now, you said you don't understand why people thought Errol Spence was a bit one-dimensional. I could tell you why, because that's pretty much all we saw since he was a professional. And I've always talked about, if you watch Chris Van Heerden, who grabbed the hell out of Errol Spence, but just got knocked out. You watched Alejandro Barrera, who uppercutted the hell out of Errol Spence, but just got knocked out. You watch Kell Brook, and Kell Brook was beating that ass in the first 4 rounds, but ended up getting knocked out. All of them, if you look at Mikey Garcia and what he's done in his career, they're not as smart as Mikey Garcia. None of those 3 I just named. But they had a leg up on Errol Spence at some point in their fights. That's why people were saying what they were saying about that. Now, I'm going to tell you what happened last night. Errol Spence pulled a – what do I like to say, Bo? Daniel Jacobs.
Lately?
But he pulled a Daniel Jacobs.
Yeah.
This motherfucker went in there. This is the thing. This is the credit I'm going to give Errol Spence, because he told everybody he could do this. But he went in there and did something that most people have not seen him do since the amateurs. And I talked to a lot of people last night. They're like, yeah, I haven't seen Errol box like that since he was in nationals. You know what I'm saying? But I told them, I said, well, it was hard to take that and say, yeah, he could do this in a mega fight like it was last night, because he lost to guys like Omar Figueroa and Brian Castano as an amateur, right? So it's hard to take that and, go all the way back to amateurs. Plus, you've seen him in, 29, 30 fights or something like that. I can't remember his record, 22 fights, whatever. You've seen him in that many fights as a professional, and he's not boxing like that like he did last night. He went out there and did what Daniel Jacobs did against Gennady Golovkin. He did something that many didn't think he could do, but he stepped up his game in a major fucking fight. But the difference between him and Daniel is I expect Errol Spence to do this shit again. Daniel, I don't expect him to ever fight the way he fought Gennady Golovkin ever again. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. So, I mean, it wasn't hard for a lot of people out there. I mean, you only go by the sample size that you have. You know what I'm saying? And the sample size that we had, there are 2 journeymen of fighters that were getting off on Errol Spence, and one fighter who was an ex-champion who, in my opinion, outside of Paulie Malignaggi, was the weakest champion at welterweight. That's just my opinion. He was getting off on Errol Spence early. So when you look at Mikey Garcia, it's like, yeah, he's definitely got a chance. That's what I think people was looking at, man.
All right, man. I'm gonna let my boy. Hold on. Let me let my boy Tamir jump in.
What's good, Jarrell? What's good, y'all?
What's good, fam?
Man, that fight went exactly. Well, I ain't gonna say exactly how I thought, because like I said, I thought Mikey would make it competitive for like maybe 2-3 rounds, but after that, I expected to see exactly what we saw last night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people underestimate how skilled Errol Spence and smart Errol Spence really is. He doesn't wow you with his footwork. He doesn't wow you with his defense, but the way he rolls and sees your punches coming, the way he plants that right foot, the way he sets up everything off the jab, which is, we don't talk enough about Errol Spence's jab, period. I mean, I haven't heard very many people talk about Errol Spence's jab and the way he sets up off of the jab. The way he countered a guy looking to counter him last night. Errol Spence, man, don't get me wrong, that fight last night was a fight that he deserved to be showcased on, because that's what it was. It was a showcase fight. Errol came into this fight knowing he was going to be showcased in this fight. If you listen to the build-up towards the fight, he spoke about it may go a couple of rounds, this, that, and the third, yada, 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 this, that. Errol knew how this game plan was going to go the whole time. He knew that Mikey Garcia had nothing. I respect Mikey. Jarrell, you know for certain, Mikey's been one of my favorite fighters for years now. I've always said Mikey's special. I always think he has the possibility to be an ATG in the lower weight classes. Yeah. But he was biting off way more than he can chew. And we discussed this yesterday, Jerome. I said it, like, I'm not a fool. When this fight got signed and made, Michael was biting off way more than he could chew. And I never seen a chance Mikey had at winning this fight, period.
True. You did something.
As far as the rest of the welterweight division, we can bring up TC, we can bring up Porter, we can bring up Thurman, we can bring up all those guys. But unless they get in the ring with this guy, man, I don't want to hear from none of them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really don't want to hear from none of them.
Hey, you know what? Here's the thing, Tavares. The reason why people underestimated his jab, we never seen it before.
Exactly.
Errol Spence, he would just come in on you. Like, he was actually building off the jab. Like, this is the first time, like my man said, we seen him box before. We was talking about his you're talking about underestimating his footwork. We never seen it before. We saw glimpses of it when he faced Lamont Peterson, okay, where he was showing a little bit of his athleticism, but we didn't see it to this degree where he was actually maintaining foot dominance as a lefty over Mike. And every time he lost it, he reset. He showed ring awareness. Okay.
See, the thing is, when I mention his footwork, what we normally, I'm not gonna say what we see, but what we normally translate as footwork is like some fancy moving around, almost like some Lomachenko type footwork.
No, not at all. Not at all.
What Errol does,
not at all.
That's why I say almost, okay. Not exactly, but almost. What Errol does well, and what a lot of people don't give credit to him for, is his foot placement and the angles that he uses.
Oh yeah, I did that in our breakdown. I said, this is a dude that as a lefty is aggressive and never gets his feet tangled up.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And the thing about it is, his punches come from so many angles, man. Mm-hmm. Body shots, uppercuts. I mean, if you go back and watch that fight last night, the main reason Mikey really had to cover up wasn't just the jab. It was just the simple fact of the matter, those punches were coming from everywhere. He was being smothered, like literally smothered. He couldn't get an offense off. Unless he's going to leave it. Like the 12th round, if you notice the 12th round, he was literally pawing at Mikey's forehead, letting him know, like, I can hit you at any time I really want to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if I could add to what Tavares is saying, as far as the footwork goes, the one thing about Errol that we don't talk about a lot is he don't waste movement. And I think that's a big thing with him. You know what I mean? Like, as far as his footwork goes, we haven't seen him like reset and do everything that he did last night. But in the fights leading up, he's never wasted movement. Every step that he takes, leading with that right foot or whatnot, is with a purpose. To get you to where, okay, I got you here to where you can't even, get any power on your shots. And I thought we saw that a lot with Mikey last night.
Well, hold on. You know what? Hold on. Let me finish this. Let me finish what I was saying. The thing is, again, guys, we've never seen this from Earl because this was the type of fighter that he had to do that against, because everybody, Mikey Garcia was probably one of the most technically sound fighters that we all know, especially coming out that Arknock gym. Mikey Garcia has the ability to get you out of place while he stays in place. Well, this was the reason why Mikey, it wasn't about him getting smothered. It was about he found himself on the other end of what he normally does to other people. See what I'm saying? Like he normally is the guy that's getting you out of place. Well, Earl was putting Mikey in a position where Mikey was out of place. Earl was mixing up like Mikey Garcia couldn't adjust because Earl wasn't giving him the same look. He was giving him different looks every single time, you know, and that was a situation where and even when Earl decided to go in, he would go in, come out, and then go back to boxing. He constantly kept that jab in Mikey's face to make Mikey reset. Every time Errol Spence missed the punch, he would duck, reset, pop, jab, reestablish his game plan. We never saw that from Earl until he fought a cat like Mikey that he had to do that against. Well, so that's what made this impressive to me, is because we finally saw this dude show us a part of his game to where it was dominant for 12 rounds. So,
well, he even said that, bro. Yeah, that's all. I mean, we're explaining that we've never seen it, but he said that himself last night.
Yeah,
he said, "I just showed you guys that I can box, I can move my head, I can move around the ring when I want to." That was his quote. So that just told you right there that he told you guys that you haven't seen it yet. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot we can speculate on, you know, prior to him fighting Mikey Garcia, but in reality, the facts that he even corroborated is that you've never seen any of this shit. And when you're breaking down fights, you have to go by the sample size you have.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm going to tell you right, I never even seen this shit in the gym when he sparred. I've never seen it. So it is what he was right in what he always said. Hey, I'm not even showing you guys. Every fighter says this. Oh, you know, I'm not even showing you everything that I could do, and then they go get their ass whooped. Every fighter's done that, you know. But he was the one that was really correct in what he said. He was genuine. Hey, I'm serious. I really haven't shown part of what I can do, and he showed last night.
I would say this: he hasn't shown it as a pro.
That's what I said earlier. Like that's what I said earlier when I was talking with other media. You're right. They were saying I felt he could box, because they said I haven't seen him box like this since he was in the Nationals.
I watched him do the Olympics, which I felt like he got robbed in the Olympics myself. But
yeah,
I've seen him. He showed a little something in his like first 2-3 fights or whatever. But last night he put it all together. Yeah. Last night he showed everybody like the hype is real.
Absolutely,
those sparring sessions are real.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And here's the crazy thing. I think that he outboxed the hell out of Mikey, but I still don't think that he showed us anything. I still don't think he left anything to imagination to anybody else that's from the outside looking in. I think he was that dominant to where it's just like, I could do these 1-2 things, keep switching it up, make it look like I'm doing showing you my whole trick bag, but I'm really not.
I agree. Because he was never. I don't recall a point last night where he was faced with any kind of adversity to really just, you know.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. But then again, we all got to realize he's been there. He's been here before. You said something, and this is why. Again, you know, these guys got to follow these fighters from birth all the way into the very end. You mentioned something about, and you know, him getting robbed in the Olympics. Well, see, that wasn't. Remember, he said that he got robbed, but then they corrected it. But he couldn't get himself back up mentally. He was drained because he felt he was robbed. So when he went back out there to fight, a fight that he thought he lost, he just didn't have it in him. So he's been through that. He's been through that disappointment, which either gonna make you or break you. Then he went to the UK to fight Kell Brook. Hostile territory. Nobody your fucking friend. Just you and the team you bring is your friend. Okay. Yeah. So he traveled that, right? So he's been through that type of.
Well, he's talking about adversity inside the fight last night. That's what I think he was talking about.
Oh, okay. Because he faced a little adversity against Brook, especially in the early rounds.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but dude was talking about inside the fight last night. I believe that's what he was
talking about. Like last night, he didn't see any kind of he was in full control. Like I hear people saying that they gave Mikey that second round Some people would have. It was a close round, but I still gave that round. I didn't see Mikey win a round last night.
120 to 108 was my scorecard sitting ringside.
And you know what's funny is
Mikey win a round last night.
I actually said that. I said that if you had a scorecard, this is the one time, a few times I hear a 120, 108 scorecard. I got nothing to say.
Well, I had nothing to say about that.
Nothing, bro. It was a I could see every single punch, man. I could see what Errol Spence was doing to him. I mean, it was right there in front of my face, man. You know what I'm saying? Mikey didn't win no round, man. He got close. I think it was the second round, first and second round, but the first round went to Errol. But the second round was close, but it was still Errol's. After that, it was a wash, man.
Let's talk about Mikey for a second, man. Does his value stop? Does his stock drop?
No,
from a fight like this.
No. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
No. Now,
like I said, I still see Mikey on the road to being an ATG in the lower weight classes. I still see that. But as far, I mean, he still has Lomo down there. He still has a ton of fights down there, man. But I didn't like how he looked against Lipinets. I really didn't. That was the most I seen Mikey get tagged in a while against Lipinets. But he pulled that out. That being said, anything above 140 was just too much for Mikey, to me, going into this fight. And nothing. Mikey's stock doesn't drop. He was in a win-win situation. Going 12 rounds, people are still giving him praise for going 12 rounds with Errol because we knew how dangerous Errol could be.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't see him, we knew how dangerous he can be. So there's no respect, no anything lost from Mikey Garcia. And he can drop back down a weight class or 2 weight class and still be on the road to a Hall of Fame, man.
Hey, let me ask y'all something, because I got a video I'm dropping, and this might be a crazy statement, but I think right now, skill-wise, Mikey Garcia is the best one. I mean, it's the third best weapon if he stays there. Skill-wise, not resume or anything like that.
I disagree, man. I disagree.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this with a caveat. Skill-wise, you might be right, but his size is going to play a factor.
True.
His size will play a factor against a Sean Porter.
I wonder if my man Brandon.
You know,
I wonder what Brandon was about to say.
I disagree. I still think Errol Spence and Bud Crawford and Keith Thurman skill-wise better. But let me touch on the last question about Mikey's stock has dropped. I'm not going to say a stock has dropped, but I think now after seeing what I seen yesterday, I would favor Lomachenko to beat him.
Yeah.
And it is because of the manner that Mikey lost. If Mikey would have went out there and just got overpowered and knocked out quick, then we could say, well, Errol was too big, Errol was too sharp. But the fact that he got outboxed for 12 rounds, I just think about how the period of a boxer Lomachenko is with the hand speed, the punch, foot movement.
I wouldn't for the simple fact of the matter. Ever since Lomo then came up to 135, things have been getting a little tougher for him. Things are big, and you got to think Errol Spence. Not only is he big and bulky, Errol had like a 4 or 5 inch reach advantage, clear height advantage. Like Errol came into that ring with all the advantages. Lomo was going to come into the ring against Mikey with maybe a speed advantage, hand and foot speed.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be pretty much on par.
I agree with Brandon. I disagree with him. Where I agree with him at is I think people are going to say that, what he said. Well, shit, you just saw what Errol Spence did to him. I know Loma's going to be able to do that to him at 135. People are going to say that. Where I disagree with him at is I still think Mikey Garcia gives Lomachenko a very hard fight. Now, here's the deal. This is what we're not talking about. A fight like this, it's a possibility that somebody can be mentally damaged to a point of no return.
That's
right?
true.
Mm-hmm. When a guy is that good and he's been talked about as being as good as Mikey has, remember they were calling Mikey the fucking Mexican Mayweather. I didn't never agree with that, but they were calling him that, right? So he's been put on this pedestal as somebody who's that good. Then he goes out there and gets completely fucking obliterated for 12 rounds. That can mentally affect him to the point where he's just not the same fighter. Now, if he goes back down to 135, there's the mental aspect. Then number 2, there's the weight aspect, right? You got brilliant boxing minds throughout boxing history that have told you once you move up so much in weight, you should probably stay there, not try to go back down to where you used to be. You see what I'm saying? So you have the mental aspect, then you have the physical in terms of weight that we got to worry about with Mikey Garcia. In my humble opinion, I think Mikey should take about 6 to 7 months off, right? And if his body is still good at 135, he feels like he can still make the weight without any problem, go back to 135 and fight your fucking mandatory Luke Campbell. That's what I think he should do, right? Fight Luke Campbell, maybe get another fight in there, then think about Lomachenko, because he's really got to get over the fact that his body, he was at what, 152 last night. Mikey Garcia never weighed 152 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to get his body ready. He's got to get his body reacclimated back down to being as light as 135. Then on top of that, he's got to get the mental anguish purged from his mind and shit from getting beat 12 rounds after he was as confident as he was. I mean, the whole goddamn city of Mexico was in the goddamn arena last night, fellas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I pulled up yesterday, parked my fucking car, niggas is all I heard was Tejano music and saw cook-offs and shit, dog. That's all I saw. You know what I'm saying? So he had his entire Mexican fan base there last night, and he got obliterated. That's gonna do something to him mentally. I just don't know how much it's going to affect him. But those are the two things he needs to look at before he even makes any fucking decisions, and he knows that because he said that last night in the post-fight presser. So we'll see, man. But I really believe he needs to go fight Luke Campbell. And Luke Campbell's a good enough fighter to test whether or not he still has it after he takes a break.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially when you look at how confident Mikey was. When you're exceptionally confident and you lose, that will affect you mentally. My man DMV, you was about to say something. We ain't heard from you, man. Go ahead, man.
I'm actually agreeing with everything that everybody's saying. I really don't. I mean, I was about to say it, but you guys kind of brought it up. So, I mean, go ahead, finish your point, bro.
All right, no, that's all. I was just like somebody as confident as Mikey Garcia was. Like, think about it, man. Mikey was like, "I'll fight you in Texas. I'll fight you in Dallas Stadium."
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just bringing my family, right? You know, and all these goddamn belts that I need for every different fucking car and shit. But you know, I'm coming like that. He was telling Earl when they had the face-to-face, dog, you're gonna see something that you ain't never seen before in your life. Okay, remember he told him that. Yeah, he was telling him that. He was saying, man, you're gonna see something you're facing a fighter you've never seen in your life. He was confident. What he kept saying, man, I see something in Earl. I see something, or maybe he saw the same thing we saw because we never seen it from Earl.
I'm gonna tell you what he said, but go ahead. I'll let you finish your point.
Okay, I'm just saying how even his own brother was like, Mikey, no, I'm telling you, I see something to do. So when you're that confident, you're that sure about yourself, and then you lose, it will have a mental effect on you. I honestly believe that he should take I feel like he should probably take the rest of the year off or take a good portion of it off. Don't come back to like November and December, man.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting to see Mikey back in the ring.
Yeah. What he said regarding that, Bo, he goes, it wasn't that I saw a particular hole in Errol Spence's game. He said, I just thought I was better at everything that he did. And that kind of, when he said that pissed me off because that's all ego. You know what I'm saying? I would have been better suited and hearing him say, yeah, you know, he don't move his head. He keeps his head on the center line in all the fights that I've seen. So I figured I could provide angles and shoot shots right down the pipe. That would have been great if he would have said that. But he said he just thought he was better than Errol overall. That's terrible, man. That's a terrible reason.
And to your point about that ego, we know what happens when that's fractured.
Exactly.
Ask Francois Botha. You know what I'm saying? Hell, ask Mike fucking Tyson. Exactly. You know, when that ego is fractured, dog, it does something to cats like that when they have that ego that big.
Can I pose a question for the panel?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the big money fight everybody wants to see. Of course, you know, Bud Crawford, Errol Spence. Personally, Bud Crawford is my favorite fighter. And when we talk about Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence, we always say, you know, Errol too big, he too strong. He are not people that think Errol will win will say he's too Bud out. Him going 12 with Mikey change people's perceptions about that fight? When you think people started to tempt to favor Bud Crawford more in that fight with Errol going 12 with Mikey? How do y'all feel about people's perception of that fight now with Errol going the distance with Mikey?
Well, my perspective changed. I never thought there was gonna be a knockout in that fight at any point, but I had Terrence Crawford beating Errol, 60-40. I was thinking like that. Now I'm at 50-50 because I seen a whole nother dimension to Errol Spence's game, and it's a dimension that I said he would have to show in order to have it to beat Terrence Crawford, and he showed it last night. So now that I've seen it, I have a sample size I can work with. It's a 50-50 fight, but I'll say this, man, like Errol Spence not even looking for that fight, man. And the post-fight presser, he was asked about Terrence Crawford on 3 occasions. And all 3 occasions, he kind of was just like, he put it off. You know what I'm saying? The first 2 times, he was like, yeah, whatever, he can get it too. And then the last time, they asked him if he was going to show up to the Amir Khan fight to kind of put more pressure on Terrence Crawford to get him to fight him. He said no. Now, Errol Spence showed up to fucking Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, got in the ring and put pressure on Sean Porter. But you telling me you're not going to do that to Terrence Crawford? So he's not even looking for that fight, dog. And that kind of upset me as well. He's
2K.
actually trying to fight Manny Pacquiao.
2K.
So, yeah.
So why do you think that's the case? You know what I'm saying? Do you think he's just trying to collect
Man,
the bill?
look, he said last night he's the money man. So I'm thinking he's believing that he's the A-side now because he beat Mikey Garcia. And he might be right. I don't know. I don't care about that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? If I say who I think the A-side is, it's still Terrence Crawford. It's fucking last undisputed champion at 140. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, but a lot of people are gonna be like, well, he beat Mikey Garcia, who was a top 5 pound for pound fighter. Terrence Crawford's never done that. I understand that, but Terrence Crawford has done more than Errol Spence.
Well,
what I was. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, 2K. Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, what I was going to say, opposed to that, where I disagree a little bit is, what's the difference between those fights you just named, as far as Garcia, Porter, and then the Khan and Crawford? Who's promoting? Because I think it has more so to do with a political stance than it does him just showing up. Because when you see them two together, when you saw Crawford and Spence together, it was kind of like fireworks, like something we hadn't really seen amongst fighters before that were that big. I've always said this, and I mean, maybe you guys can do the research and figure this out. I've always thought that the PBC fighters own some of PBC. So they're like, for example, when they get offered these big contracts, they don't take it because, it's going against what they own. I've always thought that they invest their money back into it and make more money. And that's how they stay paid, and that's how they stay, taking long layoffs and stuff. But that's just what I think. But I think it's more of a political stance more than, I don't want to fight that guy.
I don't think. Let me rephrase it. I don't think Errol Spence is saying I don't want to fight that guy. I'm just saying he's not looking for that fight. There's a difference in those two statements. He could very well be wanting. I mean, he's not looking for the Thurman fight either. But we both know he'll fight Keith Thurman. You see what I'm saying? So let me not confuse anybody in what I'm saying. But in terms of political, Top Rank has already done business with PBC. Where's the politics? What fight was that? That was a Top Rank fight where Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford showed up, and both of them got into an argument. Not an argument, but a little, friendly tassel, whatever you want to fucking call it. Yeah, nigga, you said you wasn't gonna pull up. Nigga, you said you wasn't gonna pull up. I forgot what fight that was, but that was a Top Rank event.
The Hooker Cecito fight.
Hooker Cecito, exactly. Top Rank event. So he could easily show up to this Top Rank event because he's going to be the reason. He's going to be the talk of the fight. Everybody knows, and he fucking knows that if Terrence Crawford beats Amir Khan, Terrence Crawford is going to get the same questions that Errol Spence got last night. All right, what about Errol Spence? And to say you're not showing up, that tells me you're not looking for that fight. I'm not saying he doesn't want to fight him, but he's not looking for it. Also, he told us when Manny Pacquiao's old ass climbed himself in the ring with a fucking cane, he said, yo, I want to do me the honor to fight this old AARP card having motherfucker. Listen, the reason why I'm dissing Manny Pacquiao right now is because Errol Spence is light years better than an Adrian Broner. I don't want to see this fight. You know what I'm saying? So why are they pushing Manny Pacquiao? Fuck that fight, man. And he's already made it clear. He made it clear in the presser as well. Manny Pacquiao's who he's trying to fight, man. So that's terrible, man. I don't like that. That's terrible.
Was Crawford there last night? Because I didn't see him.
No, he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
So yeah, it pretty much goes. I mean, because to be honest, if I could have been there, I would have been there. But I'm just going to say, like, maybe he was making a political stance as well. Like, I'm not saying that PBC and Top Rank can't work together. Yeah, I'm more so saying that it's not worth the squeeze right now for 300K pay-per-view buys for them to make that fight.
Well, I think the main thing, like I said, the main thing is that Errol believes he's the A side because he went on talking about ticket sales. He was saying, yeah, I think they said 47,000 last night. I mean, I have a live stream where I'm panning around on the crowd. I mean, it was a packed house, man. I don't think there was an open seat. You know what I'm saying? So he talked about he sold 48,000. He just beat a top 5 pound for pound fighter. He's literally like, I'm the A side. I think that's why he's like, I don't have to chase no Terrence Crawford. You want to fight me, he got to come to me. But I still, that's never been Errol Spence's mindset. So we're starting to see, in my opinion, we'll find out later. I guess we'll find out more so down the line, like in 2020 or something, his disposition then. But we're starting to see, the same thing we saw with Keith Thurman, right? Keith Thurman started off, showing up to Paulie Malignaggi's press conferences or whatever, or being at a press conference he was at that Paulie Malignaggi was at, and he's calling him out. Fight me, Paulie, don't duck me, son, all that, calling out Floyd Mayweather and shit. Won't you fight me? Then when he get a little bit of piece of the pie, now it's, shit, I'm going to chill. You know what I'm saying? Who want to fight me, Errol Spence? Nah, he got to get a belt, son. We're starting to see the same thing. Just based on what I heard at the press conference last night, I was there, he's doing that now. Mm-hmm. So he's probably going to be doing that to Crawford now. We just saw it.
Well, you know what? Also, now, to be fair, remember when we was on that press conference call, they made it specifically clear. And this is when I forget who was Terrence Crawford was fighting. I think it was Jeff Horn.
Yeah,
they made it clear.
No, Crawford was fighting Jose Benavidez.
They made it clear. Don't ask about Errol Spence.
Yeah, they did.
Ask us about Errol Spence. So you can make the case that neither side is looking for that fight, but we know Bob has said that Errol versus Crawford is a super fight. That's Hagler Hearn. That's what he's trying to build. You see what I'm saying? So, and I feel you too, because like I said, we was in the ring, we competitive. I'm still competitive at 50. And I don't like when I hear how Crawford, like, when it comes to Jose Benavidez, he's swinging on him, talking about his mama and shit. But when it comes to Earl, he just like, man, look, man, you know what? If we meet, we meet.
Right.
Same thing with Earl. Like you said, Earl gritting his teeth while he looking at Keith on his mouth, pull you by your ponytail, But when it comes to Crawford, he's like, hey, man, he on the other side of the street. So I agree with you. I don't particularly like hearing that, because that tells me that both of these dudes is playing the money game. You see? And they both playing that money game. So, yeah, you're right. I hate to see it, but you're right. But we do know that, hey, these dudes know that they're going to have to see each other. And it's only a matter of time. When it happens, it's going to be something to see. But to the question about has we changed my opinion, it's more 55-45 for me. And that's only because Terrence Crawford can fight either hand, either way. He can fight lefty or southpaw. So I still got it like a 55-45. But I definitely think that the dynamics of how we thought that fight would go has definitely changed because of what we saw from what Errol Spence did with Mikey. And, cats out there is always going to say it was Mikey. It was the smaller man. That's not – see, when I hear motherfuckers saying that, you already telling me you already had your mind set on being dismissive about what you saw, or you don't even understand what the fuck it is you saw.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you saw a dude that showed us something that nobody thought they was going to see. When anybody talked about Earl and Mikey, it was always Earl is too big, he's going to run him over. Nobody said he was going to dominate, he was going to outbox the box. Think about this. We saw Sean Porter try to box with Ugas, and that shit looked fucking horrible.
I thought he lost that fight.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I did too.
Fucking horrible. All right. But now we see Spence, who actually outboxed the better boxer. So
that's why I say everybody's predictions were wrong. I said Errol Spence was going to win, but I said it was going to be a close fight. Motherfuckers that was saying Errol Spence was going to win, it was going to be a knockout. Yeah, you're wrong too.
Right. I picked Errol Spence to win.
Nobody said Errol Spence was gonna outbox this motherfucker for 12 rounds. I heard nobody say that.
2K, I picked Errol Spence to win.
Right.
Yeah,
dudes was like, man, you was right in your prediction. I'm like, no, I wasn't. That fight was not close. He beat the fuck out of Mikey. It was a 12 rounds to 0 fight. That shit, picking somebody to win, that means nothing, man. How's the fight gonna go? Almost everybody's wrong about that, man.
Yeah. I know. Like I said, I thought Mikey was at least going to make it competitive for at least 2-3 rounds before Errol was like, all right, let me stop playing with this dude. Mikey didn't have a snowball chance in hell on a sunny day. Right. That entire fight, bro.
You know what Earl reminded me of, though, the way he was successful with his jab? He reminded me of Marco Antonio Barrera, as far as Marco Antonio Barrera was always able to be successful with his jab against left-handed fighters. And seldomly, rarely do you, even Michael Moore is always one of them left-hand dudes that was always able to be really good with his jab against against the opposite type of fighter. And the way Earl worked, like he literally built everything. Everything was off that jab. Every fucking thing was off the jab, dog. And he never let that go or anything, man. So
that's what I was telling. The guy I was breaking the fight down with last night was Ego. That's what I was.
Get the fuck out of here!
How his knowledge is, bro. It's how his knowledge.
He's all right, man. He's not us. He's not. Yeah, he ain't on that level, but he's all right, man. But it was Ego on my left. It was Kelly Pavlik on my right. And it was what's his name? The cat from NewYorkFights.com, John Gatlin, but he works with Michael Woods.
Oh, you talking about the black dude with the cat?
Yeah, the black dude. Yeah. It was us. And Kelly Pavlik like left after a little bit, but it was just me and Ego and old dude John Gatlin. But yeah, I was telling Ego, like, man, if you see Errol Spence, everything he's doing is behind the jab. He's not doing anything without jabbing first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, his biggest thing was that the reason why Mikey couldn't get off and he was out of position and, he was confused in the ring is because of the body work. I was like, I said, it is the body work, but it's more so the damage in general. You know what I'm saying?
If you really paid attention to it, he really didn't work Mikey's body like us.
No, he did. He worked it early, but he didn't do it anymore like after like round 5. You're right. He wasn't really working it after round 5 or 6, but it was beating the shit out of his face. And I was telling him,
shit out of him.
I was like, he's hitting him on the shoulders, the arms.
Oh, you dirty motherfucker! You taking my point?
Yeah, I didn't take your point. Ego said that after I said it's the damage. Ego's like, yeah, he's hitting him on the shoulders, the elbows. I said, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I said that's what it is. Whenever you take damage like that, and your brain is telling your body to do something, it doesn't want to cooperate. No. You know what I'm saying? That's what that tells you right there, that the damage is effective, regardless of it hitting them, flush in the face or flush in the solar plexus. It's effective, and that's why you saw Mikey constantly resetting. I mean, I seen this, man. Mikey was coming in. He had hit him with a straight right hand, and he dipped left and stepped forward and was going to come back with a left hook, but Errol Spence stepped back and hit him with a counter hook jab. That's what it looked like, a counter check right hook / jab. And it literally stopped Mikey in his tracks, bro. Like, he was done after that. He stopped, bounced again, then had to reset. And it wasn't a hard punch. It was just kind of like, hey, nigga, stay right there. It was like that. But see, even that small punch did the kind of damage to make Mikey reset. And that's what I was talking about last night. That's why he was so confused, man.
Well, one of the things that when you say about damage, and this is something, if anybody's ever been in the ring, sparring, wrestling, whatever, right? What you talk about damage is you get hit on the arms, the elbow, the shoulder, the wrist, and all it takes is 1 or 2 good hard shots. And that part of your body, like you said, is not only is it sore, but it's not going to work right either. If you blocking shots, that's why I've never liked blocking shots with my arms. I'd rather use my feet, because when you blocking shots with your arm, your shoulder, your elbow, remember, man, that's them parts of your body that got meat and bone on it. And all that shit got to do is feel some pain, get stiffened up, and you're not gonna throw that with that like you're gonna lose a half a second of speed on that. That's a lot in boxing. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna lose the ability to throw it straight. Like if you get hit on the elbow and you hurt your elbow, well, you're not throwing that punch straight because your muscle is your elbow gonna adjust to compensate for that pain that you're feeling to throw that fucking punch.
Yeah.
And that what you was talking about the damage. Hell, you're not even gonna get your hands upright to block properly because your shit not gonna cooperate. Jay Leon fucking Love. You know what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right about that damage, man.
Yep.
So let's talk about some of the fighters on the undercard. Let's talk about Louis Nery. I'm gonna start with
Why?
Well, because we gotta cover all this.
Oh man, there's some serious news that comes from those wins, man.
Yeah,
he said why, nigga?
Who said why? Was that Bo?
Yeah, that was me.
Well, we're gonna start with Bo and 2K because those guys, you know, they got me covering the smaller guys, you know what I'm saying? But they the smaller weight, you know, aficionados. So 2K, you was there live. What did you take away from Louis Nery's the dominant performance? I mean, he beat the fuck up out of a former champion in Joe Arroyo. What do you take from that performance, and who would you like to see him face next?
Well, everybody was talking about. Well, let me say this. Richard Schaefer said Louis Nery is the best 118-pound fighter. He said that last night. I disagree with that.
Me too.
Also, everybody's saying automatically Louis Nery versus Naoya Inoue. Listen, man. Louis Nery looked good. This is his first fight where he wasn't on peds. Let the motherfucker take another fight without him being on peds first, man. Also, Naoya Inoue is in the fucking WBSS. These are the fans talking. You know they don't understand shit, but he's in the WBSS. He's got Emmanuel Rodriguez next, and then Zolani Tete is gonna murder fucking Nonito Donaire, so he's gonna have him next. You know what I'm saying? Let that shit play out. While that shit plays out, let Louis Nery get a couple fights under his belt. Hey, listen, everybody talks about Joshua Greer, and this, of course, is Top Rank again. But like I said, Top Rank and PBC have done business before numerous times. Nigga, let's see Joshua Greer in there with Louis Nery or something like that. Ryan Burnett, you know what I'm saying, who is going to be coming off of an injury. He'll probably fight somebody else, you know, with the layoff that he has now. But maybe somewhere down the line of Ryan Burnett. But hell no, I'm definitely not talking about him being the best bantamweight, nor do I want to see him in there with a fucking Naoya. It's too early for that. But it was a good win for him, man. So I mean, that's all I can say about that.
I mean, what do you think about from his skill standpoint, from what you see? I know you know what I'm saying, we're going to get it along, but what do you see from an analytical standpoint, just how he matches up with either one of the guys or just how he stands in the lower weight divisions?
He get his ass whooped.
Well, yeah.
Not how he compares.
I'm gonna come out and say it. I have never been impressed by Nery, man. Never.
Not how he compares, just his skill set. What do y'all think his ceiling is? Do you think he'll be another champion again, or is it somebody that can challenge Inoue?
There's 4 belts in the division, and he's definitely a top 4 fighter. I think he does get a belt if nobody's unifying there.
What about
Go ahead, Brandon.
What about the kid? What's his name? Ubali that just
Nordine. Well, yeah, Nordino Ubali, and I forgot. Good shit, Brandon. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's the WBC champ.
I think Richard Schaefer said Louis Nery is going to be the mandatory for that belt. So
he's right number 1 right now.
Yeah, I think he said he's going to be the mandatory. So that we might be expecting that fight to be ordered. And be honest with you, the way Ubali fought Rashid Warren. That's an excellent fight, man. Hell yeah, nigga, I'm trying to see that shit, dog.
Yeah, that's gonna be an exciting fight if those two were to get in, man. That'll be a very exciting fight.
Because when you were saying watch him fight again, I was finna say, I want to see him against somebody because you listen. I like Major Arroyo, okay, but I mean, I want to see him against some of the more top of dudes. Like I want to see him, Lee Haskins, maybe even Rashid Warren, Juan Carlos Payano, Carlos Quadras, Jason Maloney. I want to see him against those dudes right there. Let's see what he looked like when he going in with them. But definitely, most definitely though, if he just goes head on and he fights, I don't think he's gonna fight Ryan Burnett. I don't think that's the fight they're looking to make right now. But from a skill standpoint, I've always said this, man. Louis Nery he kind of reminds me of Roberto Duran. He's a dude that can punch really hard and he just comes in and comes at you. So I think when he goes in there against Quabelli, that's gonna be a really good fight. So I'm with you. If they make the fight, cool. but I want to see him in there against a Haskins, Rashid Warren, Mark John Yap, or one of them do. I want to see him against somebody in the top 10 first. Make him earn that because he is just coming back from being suspended off them PEDs. Let's give him in another fight where he passed tests, another regimen of tests before we start talking about this dude fighting the champion.
JG, you got any thoughts on there, or you're not too familiar with him?
I'm not too familiar with him. Actually, that's the first time. Like, I'm not gonna be like a lot of these guys out here who be faking and stuff like that. Like the lower weights, I really need to learn a little bit more. And when we get off of this, I'm gonna talk to you, and we're gonna figure out exactly like how I can get caught up.
Oh shit! Go to my channel at Prodigy of Boxing Talk.
I learned Bo. You know what I'm saying? Bo at 2K, I learned a lot. I learned a lot from Tavares too, chopping it up before I met with these guys. But yeah, all y'all pretty much probably my knowledge is, I'm learning from y'all. Put it that way. So 2K and Bo, if you want the lower weight classes or just in general, man, check them out for sure because they know this shit. They devour the sport of boxing like I devour a chicken wing, man. They get to the so shit. Go to them niggas for that shit,
man. But I will say that was my first time watching Neri, and I thought he had some pretty good skills. I like to see a little bit more of him. As far as bringing up Inoue, I do know Inoue, and I don't know, man. I think
that's what I'm saying. Dude, he was in there against a guy who he wasn't even worried about. Like the thing about Louis Nuri, once he realizes he takes a punch from you, and he realizes, oh, you can't hurt me. Oh, exactly. Fuck it. He jumps on you. You know what I'm saying? That's why I want to see him in there against some of these dudes that got the skill set to test his mind and have enough pop to give that boy something to think about.
Exactly. That's what I said once. I said 1,000 times, man. I've watched Neri several times, and I have yet to be impressed by him.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I was impressed by him against Shinsuke Yamanaka. I'm not gonna lie about that. But then those two wins are mired in controversy because the motherfuckers piss turn hot. Yeah. Oh,
all right. Anybody final thoughts on this before we go to the next guy that just pieced up? It wasn't no love in that fight, man. Y'all get what we about to talk about.
You know what? I thought that fight was gonna go at least 4 rounds.
Hey, I got to get this off my chest, man. I got to get this off my chest, man. I don't know what the fuck Floyd be doing. Floyd is sitting there looking like, damn, man, I can't believe my dude. Nigga, you set this motherfucker up.
He shot him looking like he was concerned too, bro. He's like, is the nigga alive or what?
Yeah, he up there looking like,
about Mikey Garcia?
No, Jay Leon Love and David Benavidez. When Floyd sitting there looking up, him and Leonard Eller be looking up like, damn, man, did he really
actually lost?
Yeah, like, nigga, you set this dude up. Listen, man, this is how it went. They said, hey, David Benavidez needs somebody to fight because, he gonna go back for his title. Floyd, you got somebody? He said, yeah, hold on. He hit his secretary button. Leon Love came walking in. He said, hey, man, you got to fight against David Benavidez, bro.
Hey, and I want you to know, if you're watching Jalen Love, the only reason we talking about your ass is because you fought David Benavidez. Don't forget the shit you said a couple years ago.
This is the nigga that when he got knocked out, he went back to fighting 8-round fights. This is the nigga Jesse Hart when Jesse Hart was on his ass, he started talking shady. Man, stop, man.
This the nigga that got pieced up by Andre Darrell in the sparring session, man.
That's what it looked like last night. It looked like it was where Darrell left off.
That was 3 years ago. That's like, damn, nigga, you still. It's like, damn, you didn't improve from the 3 years that shit happened ago. But look, man, fuck Jalen Love, man. I know I'm supposed to be. This is my channel. This ain't the Kings writing shit.
Nigga, we ain't like that over there neither.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about the profession. I'm talking about Jarrell Fletcher. This ain't me about to write no objective. You know what I'm saying? Shit, fuck that nigga, man. He thought he was some shit talking shit to me on Facebook some years ago. Because I was critical of some shit or whatever, but he got his ass whooped, man. Fuck out of here.
Jalen Love is a bum that get more chances than he deserves, man.
Thank you.
That's all he is. He's a bum that gets more chances. Like I thought at least maybe 4 rounds. I ain't see it going past 5, but David wasn't out there to play. I guess the residual cocaine in the system put him on hype mode.
Well, because David was never gone. You know, I mean, sniffing a white girl don't fuck up your ability to think and perform in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Hell no. I mean, you got to think, man. David, he's still young. People forget this dude is 22 years old, man.
Right.
He's 20. He's gonna make young mistakes, this, that, and third. Exactly. I hope he learns from it. Should I say? Because this man got potential. I can't wait to see him at 175. To be honest, I really can't wait to see him at 175.
Well, he gonna take that belt off of Anthony Jarrell's.
Oh yeah, he gonna snatch that.
Hey, Anthony was nervous. Hey, them motherfuckers was nervous last night. He couldn't even get his words. I
was telling my homeboy when I was watching the fight, I was like, the only person at 168 right now that has a remote chance against. I ain't even saying gonna beat him. A remote chance against David Benavidez probably would be Caleb Plant. Would be Caleb Plant.
Yeah,
I was impressed with Caleb Plant against Ugatage, man.
Yeah. The only thing is Caleb Plant. I didn't like the stamina issues I saw in Caleb Plant in the second half of that fight. You don't want to have that type of issue.
The thing about it, and I told Jarrell this, man. I told Jarrell this when Caleb Plant won the title, man. Caleb Plant he's a smart, cerebral guy. He's gonna read you. Mm-hmm. And he's going to react to what he reads. And that's the only reason I give him a remote chance to be competitive like that against Benavidez. Other than that,
I think. Go ahead.
No. Other than that, 168.
Hey, let me jump in real quick.
Hold on, Jarrell. Yeah, let me. Oh, go ahead.
I give him a little more chance than what Tavares gives because he can move. He's elusive, just elusive enough to make David come to him, and he got some respectable power because I didn't expect him.
Oh yeah, he does.
I didn't expect him to do what he did to Ugatage in terms of making him command and respect that power. I thought he was frustrated with the movement in the skill and the hand speed, but he's more versatile than I thought he was. But like who said it, Bo or you, Tavares, that stamina issue against David Benavidez, that scared the shit out of me, man. That scared me.
It does.
Go ahead, Tavares.
I mean, I told you before that Plant fight what I was going to expect out of the fight. I told you. So it wasn't no surprise he went out there and performed to me. But as far as like into the Benavidez, man, that dude, that hand speed is ridiculous for a man his size, man.
Y'all are forgetting the guy, man. I mean,
Callum Smith. I was just finished.
Yeah, Callum Smith is way better. Callum, not way better, but he's better than Caleb Plant.
Yep.
Callum Smith
you
is
think
actually
so?
Yes.
Absolutely, bro.
Absolutely.
Callum Smith is actually seen as the second best super middleweight. Actually, saying he is the best super middleweight right now. A lot of people are saying that now. I believe it's David Benavidez, but I've had countless debates with people bringing up Callum Smith. Callum Smith is a very good fighter, man.
He's a good fighter, but I don't know.
Caleb Plant is, in my opinion, I've always talked about Caleb Plant over the past few years. I think he's a good fighter, but he's a bit limited. He actually took a beating against Jose Uzcategui late in that fight. If he hadn't banked the early rounds like he did and knocked him down twice, he probably would have lost that fight. Go check it. Go watch the fight again. That's what I'm saying. Like he's a good fighter. I'm not shitting on him. I mean, he's fighting Mike Lee next. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with Jarrell to that fight in Nashville. I'm gonna go with you, dog. But but he should be fighting guys like Mike Lee. Caleb Plant gets fucked up by David Benavidez. I think it'd be a decent fight early, but Benavidez will take him out. But Callum Smith will give him more of a problem because Callum Smith is actually a big 168 and he's a smart fighter.
Yeah, he is.
And I say this about Benavidez. Well, I favor him like the rest of us on this panel would. He is still upright when in his stance, and he don't move his head a lot. He really don't move his feet a lot. He just gifted with the power, the youth, and the strength. I mean, the hand speed. But he is all it takes is a guy like Callum Smith, or if Caleb Plant can get better, depends on for the time that potential fight happens. In the meantime, defensively, I can see him getting outworked, not stopped, but outworked by somebody that's quick on their feet, that is elusive enough to avoid those big shots, particularly that left hook that he killed Jalen Love with, and outworking him. But I don't see nobody walking through him. If you're gonna beat Benavidez, you're gonna outwork him or outbox him.
Well, see, here's the thing, man, and I did a video. Now, I agree and I disagree with what you said, Jarrell. See, the thing about David Benavidez, and I used to do videos on Cat. David Benavidez would always use his feet to take that little half-inch step back, roll, and pop you over the top. Now, he since has stopped doing that because, the competition that he's fighting hasn't forced him to, to try to move his feet more, be more mobile. But I used to watch dude would always do the little half-inch step back, pop, pop, and come back and pop you. Or he would take the little half-inch step, he'd take the little half-inch step roll and then come over the top with something. Like he don't do that no more. He is being more upright. He is showing me a little bit more issues as far as balance because when he got knocked down by Gavin, that was a balance issue. He had both his feet side by side. You don't never do that in fucking boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because once them knees buckle, once one knee buckle, your other foot catch you. But when both them knees buckle, the only thing that's gonna catch you is the arms you put him back. Yeah, you always put the arms back. Right. So he has that. But I also think that what you said about him being young is, the bad thing about a lot of these young fighters and as young is that when things start getting easier, they don't have to do what they normally have to do. It's hard for them to remember to revert back to it. That's what makes Callum Smith really good. That's why I think that Callum Smith fight is going to be a little difficult for him because Callum Smith can match David Benavidez for some of the things he does, and he's also a smart fighter. So that's why I think Callum Smith is a better one. Caleb Plant, like my man said, if it wasn't for the early knockdowns, that stamina issue kind of bothered me. That's why I don't mind him fighting Mike Lee, right? Because you just want to fight. I've seen Riddick Bowe after winning the title fight Michael fucking Dokes and shit over there. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what the fuck was that, right? So I'm not mad at that. But I want to see Caleb. I want Caleb Plant, in there, Peter Quillen, Zach Parker, and maybe even rematch Jose Ujitegui, and let's see what happens. But now for me, the fight at 168 is Benavidez and Smith, and let me just say that's like Caleb Plant and Colin Smith is the reason why that other motherfucker ran his ass to 175.
Yeah. Oh,
but see, that's the thing though. We talk about these fights and hopefully they happen, but look, Ramirez didn't even fight nobody. He respected Jesse Hart. That was his mandatory, and then that was it wasn't an easy victory, but it's a guy that he feel comfortable with going through the fire against.
I remember his whole motherfucking resume is fluff.
That's what I'm saying. So we talking about these potential matchups, but we even see Benavidez versus Smith. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's kind of like we forced to not to shit on Caleb Plant because he's a good fighter. It's like we forced to get concede that is a fight that we had to accept because you got Smith over there on the zone, and we know how Eddie Hearn operate. And we know Al Heyman operates. It's an ego thing at the end of the day with all these guys, and they're not putting their fighters' best interests in mind. So we're going to have to settle for a Caleb Plant, Benavidez fight, and then these guys go up to 175 because, Benavidez is going to outgrow the division sooner or later. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be like, well, shit, all these motherfuckers with the skills, but look at their resume, and this shit, it shortchanges us fans and pundits that want to see these fights go down. What you about to say, 2K?
I know Jesse Hart is getting ready to fight Alida Alvarez, but that's a fight I would have liked to see Caleb Plant in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jesse Hart's stupid, bro. He's over there. He's following Gilberto Ramirez. That's what he's doing. He even said that on Instagram. He said he's in the fight. He said if Gilberto, or at the end of the fight, the rematch, he said if Ramirez goes to 175, I ain't worried about him. But then a week later on Instagram, the nigga's like, yeah, I'm gonna follow this motherfucker wherever he go. It's like, come on, man. You got 168 wide open. You can't beat Gilberto Ramirez, nigga. Stop.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I'm saying? 168 is wide open, bro. I think he gives Caleb Plant all sorts of trouble if they fought.
I think so too. Yeah, both guys have stamina issues. Both guys are, both guys are tailor made for each other. I believe. I think that'll be a fight that I would pursue if I was Jesse Hart, but.
Exactly.
These motherfuckers don't think like that, man. I don't see why you obsessed. I mean, you lost a close fight, but motherfucker, you gave those fights away.
That ain't Jesse Hart, man.
You gave those fights away, though. You know what I'm saying?
But see, y'all got to understand something. That ain't Jesse Hart. You know what I'm saying?
Who? Aaron?
Yeah, Jesse Hart was like, all right, fuck it, he gonna go up. And Bob Aaron said, wait a minute. We need a guy to continue to be the polar opposite for Ramirez. All right. So you're gonna have to go out there and you're gonna have to continuously hunt him down. All right. The belt's gonna be vacant. I have no players at 168. They're going 175.
Oh, that shit ain't vacant. That motherfucker's still the champion at 168.
Yes, he is.
But you know, Tyron got that WBO belt on lock, bro. So it don't even matter. They can just get that bitch to Jesse Hart and be like, oh,
yeah, you know, listen, dog. WBC is WPBC. Okay, all right. WBO is the World Bob
I
Organization.
disagree with that WPBC bullshit, nigga. Because that's only in like 2 divisions, nigga. Fuck out of here.
Everybody got the WBO.
WBC is for Mexicans, man. Straight up. Nah, man.
I guess Deontay an honorable Mexican.
yeah, right. The heavyweight, 154,
man, that shit
147, 126.
Well, that's because hold on. Fuck that, nigga. You naming divisions where the fucking PBC dominates the divisions. Let's go to divisions where they don't dominate, like 160.
Yeah, no, because Canelo is there, and WBC is treating Canelo like that.
World boxing,
like
cruiserweight.
They treat Canelo like their girlfriend. Where they
cruiserweight.
Nobody got nobody in that motherfucker.
Hold on, nigga, cruiserweight.
Yeah, nobody got nobody. But in the division where it's all top rank, that's a WBC. That's a WPBC though. In any division that PBC is in, that WBC is WPBC.
Nah, that WBO shit
that they run, I give you that.
That WBO shit, it's all top rank. It don't even
matter.
Now
damn when I'm gonna twist it.
That motherfucker Tanner Bradley gonna come out of retirement the WBO welterweight champion or some shit. It don't matter. He gonna be the WBO regular champion, while fucking Crawford gonna be the super. Shit.
Speaking on Jesse Hart for a second, and the reason why I don't think that shit makes no sense for him moving up, you gotta think if Ramirez vacate that belt, Billy Joe Saunders is gonna get that belt. Yeah. He could have worked his way back up. ESPN and Frank Warren working together. So that was a fight he could have had.
Yep.
He could have worked his way up to a Billy Joe Saunders fight, went to the UK and had a big money fight, a way bigger money fight than fight.
But I think that's a fight that's all bad for Hart though. Hart gets sloppy, square himself up, out of position. Billy Joe Saunders, if he can maintain, if he can deal with that extra 8 pounds, I think he'll school the fuck out of Jesse Hart, man.
But that fight isn't he gonna be? Billy Joe Sanders is not gonna be the WBO champion at 168 anyway. Yeah,
I'm just saying if it would have played out that way, I think that would have been a bad matchup. I mean, even though old dude was supposed to shit fat or whatever it is.
She fat.
Yeah, she fat. She fat. Hey, they names be cracking me up, man. They need to. Hey, man, what the fuck? Hey, come in, she fat. Like, what the fuck, bro? Say that shit. Yeah, man, but this shit crazy. Hey, I want to touch on something else, man, before we get up out of here. I know 2K, you was live at the fight, but I'm pretty sure they play those interviews over the Jumbotron and shit. I don't know if you was paying attention. But this motherfucker.
I don't know. I was probably looking at some hoes, nigga. There was some bad bitches there, bro.
And I heard my boy Elton said it was bad bitch city.
Nigga, that shit, nigga. I talked to Blake after the fight, bro. I was like, nigga, y'all Houston ain't got shit on Dallas, nigga. These hoes came out the woodworks for this fight, bro.
Wait a minute, even more so than the last fight, 2K?
Nigga, yeah, bro. Bo, nigga, you would have nutted on himself, old ass nigga. That's how many badass bitches
there were. Real shit. I'm in San Antonio right now, but that's one of the reasons I didn't go, because I done had a couple of nights in Deep Ellum, nigga.
Yeah, well, I
done got my bid in a couple of times out there.
I lived in San Antonio for a long time. Ain't nothing but fat Mexicans out there.
That's all that's out here, bro. That's all that's not this bitch. You gotta go to Austin and see get a decent bitches in Austin.
Yeah, exactly.
No, man, but this is what Charles. It was Jamel and Jamal Charlo. They were doing an interview. You know what I'm saying? And fucking Jamel couldn't talk and shit. That nigga, I don't know if he was high or fucking drunk. But then old girl asked Jamal, so. You got a big fight coming up, which is bullshit. He just got a fight in Houston, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, so who do you want to fight? He was like, I can't really, there's a lot of people I want to fight, but I can't say. I'm like, nigga, why can't you say who you want to fight? You say anything else, You say you want to fight Daniel Jacobs. You say Golovkin ducking you. I'm looking at him like you
ran up on his ass.
I'm looking at you like you one dumb nigga, man.
He said that Al Heyman ran up on his ass.
Yeah, I'm like, you let Al Heyman them dick you around instead of taking some money to go over to the zone and fucking fight. He a dumb motherfucker that just want to be, you know what I'm saying? He want to get paid. He don't want to be no legend, man. I'm done with Jamal, bro. He better not say shit. I don't give a fuck that nigga ever fight again, dog. How you gonna say I can't say who I want to fight? Either you want to fight Jacobs, Andre, Golovkin, Canelo, you want to sign over there or not. Just say you want to fight Korobov in a rematch. Say you want to fight all these other motherfuckers. Just say you want the money, dog. Just don't say you want to be an all-time great. He got that win over Julian Williams, and he thought he was some big shit, bro. Because if he wanted to fight, he would have tried to get Al Heyman or whoever to enforce a fucking WBC mandate him next for the fucking title instead of him fighting Canelo, fighting Rocky Fielding. Because that's who he should have fought in December. But Jamal a chump ass nigga, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said as far as, and me and Bo touched this on our podcast. You know, really, he has nothing. He has nowhere to go. Unless you're talking about going back down to 154 or moving up to 168, staying with PBC, or at least not. He could stay with PBC, but at least not signing maybe a 2-fight deal with the zone would be a problem. You know what I'm saying? At 160, that's all they got there. Nobody's gonna fight you at 160 if you're not with the zone. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So he really has no choice. But to comment on what you're saying about how, because I didn't see that interview, man. I probably was looking at somebody's ass. But to comment on what you said about Jamal, you know, stuttering and shit. The thing is, man, he done called these niggas out on him how many times, man. So it might be a situation where he's just like, man, I don't know who the fuck I'm gonna fight, man. These niggas don't want to fight me.
But my thing is, my thing is, bro, if you believe in yourself, lines only. If you believe highly in yourself, eventually you're gonna have to take a gamble. I mean,
I agree.
Everything you ain't gonna wake up getting $100 million check or a $50 million check. If you think you that good, if you think them dudes over there at 160 at the zone is dog food, then you're gonna go over there and take their shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can't make no money if you don't spend no money or risk yourself in this case. I mean, I don't know, man. These niggas.
To your point, that's exactly what the fuck Rob Brandt did.
Right.
Look what he had now.
To your point,
absolutely.
Exactly what the fuck Rob Brandt did. He went over there. He beat Realtor Murata, and ESPN threw him a check. He said, "Yo, I believe in myself. Bam, sign that bitch." Yeah. So here's the thing that first Charlo got to understand something, right? The WBC just got their belt back around Alvarez's waist. Alvarez had already smacked their hand once, like, fuck out of here. I don't want that shit gone. So the WBC is glad, you know, like the WBC is their girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? That bitch that's just starving for that dick and she hanging around. And you find this, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna fuck you.
Fuck it, I'll fuck her. I got a couple of those under my belt. Go ahead, though.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So the WBC is so happy to have that belt around Canelo Alvarez, okay? And on top of that, I don't give a fuck who you are, WBC, WBA, all right? Them motherfucking goddamn sanctioning fee checks look awfully nice when they got Golden Boy on the end of them bitches. They look real pretty. It don't look so pretty when the name of that motherfucker is Charlo.
True, but still at the end of the day, man. At the end of the day.
No, but this is what I'm saying is, though, and also Gennady Golovkin is ranked number 1. He just signed with his own. The WBC is not going to enforce a Charlo Alvarez fight before they enforce a Golovkin Alvarez fight. So he's going to have to get with DAZN, and I agree with you on this aspect. He's going to have to get with fucking DAZN 2, maybe 3 fights, because that's the only way. The only other avenue he can try to take is to try to fight maybe Jack Cole can grab that number 2 spot over there at the IBF, because they do enforce Mando, but it's fucking too late now at this point.
I mean, anybody over there, man.
He got to shit to get off the pot.
That's what I'm saying. He really fucking himself up because I
wasn't mad about him saying that though, Jarrell.
I'm not mad at. I'm just mad at his demeanor because he's just like, I just can't. It's like he looked defeated and he put himself in this situation.
It's not gonna happen for me. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But if Eddie Hearn keep knocking at the door, you got to take some.
I agree with you.
I wish we could. I don't like to count nobody's pockets, but what the fuck is it that he making over there at PBC? That he can't go over there and get.
To me that doesn't matter, because if this is about legacy, if this is about being a champion, it don't matter what you're making.
To him, that's what I'm saying. To him, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying to him about him. It obviously matters to him what he's making because he's willing to stay over there and fucking make whatever he's making instead of maybe making a little less but fight for a title.
He's gonna be on the outside looking in. I mean, the roles have reversed. He's Demetrius Andrade, and Andrade is what he was at what Charlo was at 154.
That's why Andrade talking mad shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Andrade talking shit. Call his bluff, bro. Call his bluff. Go over there and fight Rosado or whoever the fuck. And then after, Andre beats the Lucky because he gonna beat the hell out of him. Then you show up, you sign the zone. Eddie like, look, man, hey, we're gonna have this Triple G, Canelo trilogy. So you got to fight. You got to fight Jamal, or you know what I'm saying. Daniel, he ain't got the shit. He lost his title, so shit. You got to fight Jamal. You call this bluff. You take his title, and you right there in position to face the winner of Canelo Triple G. I mean, but some got to shake, man. These dudes got to start using their fucking brain because they just wasting their prime.
Well, you know what, Jarrell? You brought up a good point about Andre. I'm glad you brought up Andre because he's over there, right? Mm-hmm. And all of those dudes are over there, and he's still not lined up to fight against him.
But hey, he not lined up, but he got a belt and he's fighting consistently, and he getting closer. He getting closer than fucking Charlo is.
Well, I'll say one thing. Yeah, Jarrell's absolutely right with that point. They might not be lined up, but if Canelo want to be undisputed, guess who he got to go through? Yep. So that motherfucker they might not be lined up, but he is lined up for a major fight if Canelo really wants to be undisputed.
And if Jacob somehow win and Canelo, and it's a tough fight for Canelo, tougher than he like, shit, Andre right there.
Either one of them win, Canelo gonna win the fight,
or he can still get Golovkin. I mean, shit. Even if he not fight for undisputed right then, if Golovkin say, you know what, I want to fight Andre, and the feeling is mutual.
Golovkin ain't saying that.
I know he ain't, but I'm saying the point is Andre is setting himself up because eventually you gonna have to fight him. He ain't gonna outgrow 160, so he's just still waiting.
I don't know because the thing is Canelo has shown y'all when he went up to 168 that Canelo just do whatever the hell Canelo wanted to do.
Of course,
but and I mean, like, yeah, we can say that if he wants to be, but for the most part, when there's a black guy that don't make a lot of money, he probably gonna go up to 175.
Hold on, Bo. I disagree with that because Daniel Jacobs is a black guy that don't make a lot of money. Daniel Jacobs just signed with DAZN. He's been with Matchroom for his last 2 or 3 fights, but he just signed with DAZN right now. He don't make a lot of money. Canelo's fighting him. So I don't get that point.
Well, no, I would say Daniel Jacobs at least has somewhat of a name. With the Golovkin fight going on, the PBC and all of that type of stuff. Daniel Jacobs has a lot bigger name than Andre. Andre was on the shelf for a long ass time at one point. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't as active as he's about to start being. But I mean, there's not a lot of people clamoring for Andre. I
think he a bigger risk than Daniel Jacobs. I think Andre's a better fighter than Jacobs.
But see, there's one thing all of y'all are missing.
That too, Jarrell.
One thing y'all are missing. DAZN just gave Canelo $350 million. So he may not have a fucking choice.
Good point. Exactly. Great point.
He may not have a choice but to fight Andre, because the reality is, if you go to 168, the only fight you can make at 168, Colin Smith. Oscar not making that fight. Hence why Canelo fought Rocky fucking Fielding. Okay,
exactly.
So
that's why
so they just gave him a big bag of money, $350 million. He may not have a choice but to fight Andre, especially with Eddie. One thing I gotta say about Eddie Hearns is when he talks, he will speak some shit into happening because he said, "Look, Canelo needs to face Daniel Jacobs at some point. Canelo's fighting Daniel Jacobs." He's also said, "Well, Demetrius Andrade is holding the belt in the hottest, most profitable division, all the boxing. So at some point, he's gonna be in the mix with these guys." And Demetrius Andrade is staying busy. Staying busy is the perfect UK model for making fighters fucking popular. Ex Anthony Crozier, that really ain't that fucking good.
Exactly. And see, the thing with what it seems like to me with DAZN is that you get one of, depends on who you are. You're gonna get you, like Andre's case, he gotta fight who he gotta fight until the top dogs clear out. You know what I'm saying? But Jamal, you gonna get fights. These guys gonna have to fight. John Skipper gonna see, look, if I'm giving you this money and I got Canelo giving you this money, y'all niggas got a time limit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a 6-month, span to make some shit happen. You know what I'm saying? He not a fool. He came from ESPN. These guys over at the Zone, they not allowing like Showtime and HBO used to do. Let these fighters continue to fucking milk them without having to fight the best. So eventually, you know, if Jamal go over there, he not too far off from a big fight, man. He not. You know what I'm saying? I just don't believe he too far off if he go over there, because a lot of shit can happen. We seen crazy shit happen in boxing where upsets happen, motherfuckers get bigger, whatever the fuck it is, people fucking want to retire, whatever the fuck it may be. His ass just need to be over there at the Zone, man. Leave PBC for a year or two, go make your legacy if that's what you wanted to be about boxing, and test to see how good you are, because we don't know how good Jamal is. We think we know how good he is, but he ain't fought nobody. Look what happened against Cornball. A lot of people think he lost that fight. You know what I'm saying? So shit, how good is he really? We know how good Jamel is. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how good Jamal is, though. That nigga, all he do is talk and flash for the camera, man.
No, I agree. I agree with everything y'all saying. I agree that he needs to go over to the Zone. I wasn't saying that, oh, he don't need to go over there, just to let y'all know. I agree with everything y'all saying. I was just saying, don't go over there just because you chasing. I'm saying go over there because the bag makes a lot of sense at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Or the options in the contract make sense. Sometimes you ain't gonna get the money, so it got to be a guarantee of something in there that makes you say, okay, I ain't gonna get the money I want off bat, but it got that fight or two that I'm in there, I'm looking for, so I sign. You know what I'm saying? You got to bet on yourself at the end of the day.
Well, Jarrell, the problem with that is these niggas today, they don't know or don't care about making money on the back end. They care about getting their hand out right then and there.
Now.
I believe because they don't believe in themselves. That's what it is.
Well, there's that, and there's the Floyd Mayweather blueprint that Money Mayweather did, not Pretty Boy Floyd. You got that too. So niggas just really feel, hey, nigga, I'm undefeated, bro. You need to pay me. That's the mindset today.
That's why I say people don't really believe. They not true fans of Floyd or anybody if they don't know that he earned that shit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, let them be stupid.
My whole thing with Maul, man, is he's in a fucked up position because you can see that he wants to stay with PBC, but the competition and the people he needs to face are all at the Zone, not one or two. That like they're all at the Zone. So he's in like oh man. If it was up to me, if I want my legacy to be sustained when I retired or whatever, he's almost at a position where he has no choice but to go to the Zone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Look, Tavares, it's business. You may like the people, but it's business. Like, you know, Jarrell is my brother, but if that nigga start writing whack ass articles, I'm gonna have to demote that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
No, hey, that motherfucker ain't lying, dog. Nigga called me one time, 5 o'clock in the morning. All right, man, 2 questions. You all right? And what the fuck was this shit you gave me?
Exactly.
Both my brother, man. But that nigga turned in some shit one day. I was nigga, what the fuck is this? You know, that's business, man. That's what he needs to understand. You might like PBC, you might like Al Haymon and all them, but right now, unless you're talking about, like I said, going to 154 and 168 where they dominate that division, PBC does, you need to move, dog. For real.
I agree.
And the thing about it is he can still remain with Al Haymon with the Zone. I mean, that's why I don't get what a lot of people are
that's what Daniel
what a lot of people saying that Al Haymon, as far as I remember, Amir Khan is still being advised by Al Haymon.
Yes, sir.
Daniel Jacobs is still being advised by Al Haymon.
Yes, sir.
You know, that's why I don't get that talk that people saying that Al Haymon won't work with such as. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. He's shown time and time again. Yes, he will. So he can stay with Al Haymon. But like I said, all the competition, not just one or two, all the top names at 160 are currently at the Zone. That's where you need to be, man.
The only person Al Haymon, and it's not Al Heyman's doing, but the only person that doesn't work with Al Haymon right now is Oscar De La Hoya, and rightfully so. He took all that nigga's fighters. He's the only one.
He gave him to him by not putting him on
paper.
They
made one. Right, no, wait a minute. They made 2 fights.
No, that wasn't it.
No. Canelo Alvarez versus Josecito Lopez. Canelo Alvarez versus Amir Khan. and that was more of
Yeah, that
Al
was
being in the
cousin.
background. Like Amir Khan would bring the
The
shit.
Jose Cito Lopez fight was well before Al Heyman said, "Give me 72% of your
That's
stable."
true. Now that's
It was
that's
supposed
true.
to be Victor
That's
Ortiz.
true. That's
It was
true,
supposed
though.
to be Victor Ortiz, but his punk ass, you know, he got his jaw broken shit. So, you know,
Right.
Cito Lopez beat him and shit. So,
And
but I mean,
the Amir Khan fight was more so because he was with what's his name? Fuck, why am I drawing a blank, man?
Frank Warren.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
So,
I mean, then look at Andre Darrell. You remember he left to go to SMS Promotions, 50 Cent's boxing promotional company at the time, and Al Heyman welcomed his black ass back with open arms. So shit is like,
Dog. Later Alvarez just signed a co-promotional deal with motherfucking ESPN.
Al Heyman, they think Al Heyman ain't mad at these mugs because he's set regardless. You know what I'm saying? He give you the game. If you can't go apply it, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. That motherfucker, he got music money and he got sports money.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't JoJo Diaz fight Gary Russell? But that was mandatory, I think, wasn't it?
that was mandatory, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but I mean, you still got to work with him a little bit on some shit. I'm pretty sure behind,
not
but not
necessarily, dog. You can just say, "Hey, man, immediate purse bid or the immediate purse. I want to talk to this nigga."
Good luck, JoJo. Like, good luck, JoJo.
You know what I'm saying? Because what's called it? Ryabinski, Povetkin's promoter, good for that. No. I don't want to talk about it. Immediate purse bid. He good for that shit.
Yeah, Rod Bensky, but that nigga's on some other shit. That's some mafia shit over there. But you know, listen, man, the way things are going right now, the networks are running shit. You know, now the way it is, you can have a promotional contract and then you got a network contract. Like I said earlier, Daniel Jacobs, he had the promotional contract with Eddie Hearn Matchroom, and then he just signed his network contract with DAZN for the Canelo fight.
You know what I'm saying?
So with that being in play, y'all are absolutely correct. Jamal Charlo can easily just sign a 2-3 fight deal with DAZN to get the fights, or at least listen. I would make these motherfuckers tell me in my contract, give me either Canelo or Triple. I don't give a fuck who it is, or whichever one he wants the most. I need a guarantee of that fight.
Right. I need a guaranteed title fight. I need a guaranteed
title fight. Yeah, a guaranteed title fight. Yeah,
I need a guaranteed title fight.
Yeah.
So if them motherfuckers get hurt or some shit or anything to protect me, I need that shot at that title or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And look, man, DAZN throwing money like motherfuckers in the strip club at these strippers, man. You better go get you some of that money. You better go get some of that money, secure your kids' future, your future, and fuck that.
Did you just tell Jamal that he need to go and shake his ass, bro?
I ain't say that. I said DAZN throwing money like niggas be in the strip club doing to these strippers. I mean, hey man, he might be saucy anyway, so that might be something that they behind closed doors they negotiate. So shit, that's neither here nor there. You know, that's not Big Cool's business. But go get the bag, man. That's all I got to say, man. And stop doing interviews.
You right, man. I'm telling you, dog. Oh man, look, that dude gonna find himself on the outside looking in, man. But
30 for 30, the twin that never was.
You telling the truth though, dog. You know what I'm saying? 30 for 30. You right. You know what I'm saying? The tale of two brothers.
The one that excelled and the one that stayed in neutral. Get the fuck out. And you're gonna get 2K be like, get the fuck out of here trying to do a co-interview. That shit still, bro. Like that shit, man. That shit.
You said 30 for 30. That shit was funny.
It never was, man. But shit. Yeah, we'll see what's going on next week. Who fighting next week, man?
Hold on. I'm on the site right now, man. Let me look at it real quick.
And y'all fellas, while y'all on here, man, y'all make sure y'all support us at Three Kings, man. We be reporting all the news, breakdowns, recaps. You see, it ain't just professional over there. We get on YouTube, we cut up. You know what I'm saying? We well versed, man. So make sure y'all spread the word. 3kingsboxing.com is on the rise.
That nigga 2K, man. Whenever I'm around that nigga 2K, man, I be rated R. You know my channel is PG-13.
Yeah.
Get around this nigga 2K,
no,
man.
Nigga, your channel rated G, nigga. It ain't PG-13.
Because I was listening to the show Thursday. This nigga 2K, I already know 2K because this nigga both hopped in. Yeah, motherfucker, we was waiting on this shit today. I'm like, nigga, that ain't you. That ain't you.
Hey, next weekend is Sergey Limpinets and
Peterson.
Pete.
Yeah.
Oh, tonight we got a card too, man.
That's on my way too.
Luca Lazo and fucking Samuel Vargas fight tonight.
Samuel Vargas, yeah.
That's on the zone or ESPN.
The tale of two gatekeepers. Hey, at one point, Sammy Watkins was a hot prospect, man. I remember
he was.
Yeah, until he ran into
I'm on that nigga.
JG, you want to that fight next week? Weekend.
You know what? I might mess around and do it. Me and my homeboy, we was looking at it last night. As a matter of fact, it was over there by the MGM. Yeah, it's probably about maybe.
Tickets probably.
They're a little expensive, but you know, I might. Mess
wait. You said
tickets to that fight.
Limping is Peterson is expensive.
A little bit, man. It's the MGM. You know what I'm saying? It's new out here. It ain't really got that many seats.
I figured that fight all you got to do is go to Burger King, man, and get two meal specials, and you get a ticket with it.
That fight should be $30 to sit on the floor, nigga.
Yeah, hell no, dude. It's like I want to say it's about like maybe like 80 to 100 to be like up far.
Oh no, shit! I watched the crib.
They trying to get money out that fight, dog. Because them two, that's not a fight, bro. That's not one of those type of fights anymore. Let me say that.
Is Gary Russell on that card?
Hell no, man. You know Gary Russell probably gonna fight like 1 minute before the new year, man. You know that nigga don't be fighting. That motherfucker.
Well, you know he fought his mandatory, so
he came out. He made weight, I guess, and shit.
Well, he said he was gonna fight 3 times this year.
Yeah,
he ain't fought once yet, but he said he's trying to get a fight in. I think soon.
Yeah, And I said I would stop calling my son a punk, a beta male bitch.
God damn.
Well, I mean, the difference between the two statements is, nigga, we know you not gonna stop doing that shit.
Oh shit! Hold on. Blank man has just joined the show. This nigga all late, man. Michael Wilson, Blank man.
Oh shit!
Hey, this your boy Michael, writer for 3 Kings. You know, just in here to let y'all.
That's not how he says it. It's hey everybody, it's your boy Michael here for 3KingsBoxing.com. I write on all the small fighters and everybody that nobody knows about.
Yeah, the fighters that don't eat that much, you know.
Mike got the TV on right now.
Mike, man, we live, man. What you stop watching Lifetime, man? What you doing watching Lifetime shit, man? It's more. It's Sunday, man. Watch the tournaments, man.
Mike, you gotta come back, bro. You gotta come back with something.
Yeah, man. Here looking like that damn, looking like a Ninja Turtle, man. Come on,
y'all niggas.
Y'all, there it is. Y'all nigga, I ain't expect that. Hey, his glasses must not been on his nose when he said that. He said that shit clear as hell.
There it is, on my water, man.
Y'all niggas.
Oh, hey dog, he said it with that old soul voice too. Y'all niggas.
Hell yeah.
You know, like how your grandma would say it to you when she come in the house and see you. Y'all niggas.
Hell yeah. Mike,
what's going on, fellas? What's going on?
What'd you think about the fight last night, man?
When I discussed this,
and remember, I said that Spence would win, Mike.
No, you didn't, Bo. Stop lying.
He said a draw, didn't he, Mike?
Yeah, he said I'm going to draw. I love these two fighters. I don't want to see them take L's.
Now hold on, wait a minute, bro. I didn't say no. I love these two fighters. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
Hey, that's basically what you said.
When I discussed this on my show, the question I kept asking, because with all the talk, for me, it was if Spence established distance, if he got the jab going, if he got it off first, how was Mikey Garcia going to combat that? Mm-hmm. That's how the fight played out for me in watching it live. Spence, yeah, he's bigger, he's stronger. People know him for his body punching, but the thing that people didn't give him credit for, and he took offense to this after the fight and the post-fight, his skill and his boxing brain. He fought a basic, simple fight with a basic, simple strategy to me. He didn't have to do anything exceptional here to get the win. He established the jab. He established the distance early on. And Mikey couldn't thwart it. He didn't have any real answers for it. People, comparisons to Pacquiao this and Ray Leonard that in terms of him moving up a couple of weights to beat him. But my thing was, as talented and as skilled as Garcia is, he doesn't have the hand speed and most importantly, the foot speed to move in and out, to dart in and out, to create angles. 2K, you know about this fighter since you mentioned smaller weights. Kosai Tanaka.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
If you watched his fight with Taguchi, after he got hurt in that third round and he stepped it up, the thing that you noticed more than anything else was his footwork.
Right.
How he used his footwork to not just go in and out to create to land punches, but also use his footwork to create angles so he can find punches in there.
Right. Absolutely.
Garcia doesn't have that in his arsenal. If you don't have that in your arsenal against the likes of Errol Spence, if Errol Spence just fights a smart fight, how is Garcia going to beat him? And that was just my simple thing going in. And for the most part, particularly the first 2/3 of the fight, that's all Spence did because that's all he had to do.
Right.
But yeah, true. But it takes again to give Spence credit. It takes real discipline to keep yourself from fighting like you actually are the bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? Because boxing, he could have got clipped. Yeah, shit. If he would have went in there reckless. So credit to both guys again. Discipline and finesse shown by Spence, and toughness and chin and heart shown by Garcia. But Garcia, when you think about it, I guess when we all sit back and think about it, compared to like what Mike said with the Sugar Ray Leonards or the Manny Pacquiao's, as great or as very good as Mikey Garcia is, he doesn't do one thing physically that makes you say, okay, he can bring that up with him, even coming up 12 pounds. He doesn't have the blistering hand speed or the blistering foot speed. He's not a very elusive, athletic guy, great reflexes. So, I mean, it is what it is. He tried, he failed, it happens, and it's going to continue to happen. But he don't got nothing to be ashamed of, man. He did what he was supposed to do. He gave it his all and came up short.
And for me, ultimately, good big man always beats a good little man, particularly if the good big man doesn't fight dumb. Spence doesn't fight dumb.
That's true. He doesn't.
That's true, Mike. That's very true.
Yeah,
That's very true. I just think, like we said earlier, Mike, we never saw what we saw last night. We never saw from Earl, so it was kind of easy to give Mikey Garcia credit based off of what we hadn't seen from Earl and what we had seen Mikey Garcia do against far lesser superior opponents. Because you said something about his foot speed. Well, Mikey Garcia has shown good foot speed against cats like Dejan, even Adrian fucking Broner, and even Robert Easton Jr. But then at the same time, maybe he was successful because they just wasn't this dude that he faced last night. So
look at the guy who you just said, Robert Easter Jr.
Mm-hmm.
What have I said about him before? He fights stuck on stupid.
Yeah.
Errol Spence doesn't fight stuck on stupid.
No. But we never seen him fight like this. So based, because we can only judge on what we see. So when you don't see a guy do something, but you see another guy do it, then you say, okay, well, his ability to be effective, especially when lesser talented guys have been effective against him, his ability to be effective, you have to give him a higher chance of being more effective.
I mean, like I said, it could be any of the reasons why we didn't see it. Maybe, my boy Dwight, he always say that shit. Spence wasn't showing everything, and maybe he was right. It seemed like he was right. You know what I'm saying? He just needed that right guy to bring it out of him. Even though you would have thought it might have been, Cale Brook. But I mean, maybe he's just been working on it. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is, it worked last night, and we know that he's capable of doing it.
No, man, I just think it was a matter of last night. Errol Spence was so pissed at what everybody like. You know what, dog? It's kind of like this, right? It's kind of like you being the older brother, and your little brother is coming up, right? Now you're known for playing ball, but your little brother coming up, cats ain't seen you in a while. Some of the cats coming up with your little brother ain't seen you in a while. Your little brother dunking on motherfuckers, scoring 50 points, and all of a sudden one day, little brother's talking about something. Oh, you know what? I take your money on the court. What? All right, man, bring your ass.
Correct me if I'm wrong, 2K, but either on past episodes of Three Kings or even in private discussions among staff, I believe I've heard you say that you've seen Spence in the gym, And
Right.
you've seen him box before, right? And box well, despite a disciplined fight in that regard, right?
No, what I've seen in the gym is him not boxing.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's one of the reasons why what I saw last night was an exceptional performance to the point where I've seen a completely different dynamic coming from Errol Spence. I mean, even in the gym, sparring and getting work in, he didn't do that. He did
Okay.
not do that, man.
Maybe we should give a little credit to Jamil Charlo. I mean, because they, maybe he
Yeah,
a boxer.
yeah, that's true.
I just thought about that 'cause they sparred and shit. So maybe that's why it's been brought out more since Jamil made that swap from Ronnie Shields to Derrick James. So maybe iron sharpen iron, as you
Yeah,
say.
I just figured that on the come up in earlier fights, I've seen Spence use his jab. I've seen Spence use footwork. I've seen him box essentially, and it's just simple math. You can't get as far as Spence did in the amateur ranks. You couldn't hear the stories of him just beating up guys in the gym and him not have this aspect about him.
Shit, he was fucking guys up in the gym because of his aggression. Like Errol Spence still spars like it's a real fight, and that's why Floyd Mayweather got mad at him.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I'm
my
saying?
thing is, if people want to give Triple G so much credit for his boxing for the boxing he displayed against Lemieux in that fight, I'm thinking, well, damn it, how come Spence couldn't do this? Because I just think skill-wise, Spence is, from what we've seen of Spence, he's on the level of Triple G in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well,
again,
I think it's more so of tendency. People are, you're used to seeing Errol Spence. How many fights is it? What, 22, 23 fights?
25.
Yeah. 25, where he's been the aggressor, coming forward, head on the center line, plotting. Listen, I said it earlier in the show. Spence even said it himself after the fight that he displayed something you guys haven't seen. He even said it.
Yeah, he did.
So he even acknowledges that he hadn't shown you as a professional what you saw last night.
That's why I kind of disagree with Bo when he said he was pissed off. I don't think he was pissed off. I think he was just waiting on the perfect opportunity.
He was pissed, dog.
He was ticked.
He was pissed.
He
was pissed.
Well, he said in the post-fight presser he was pissed.
Oh, okay.
He said it, yeah.
Well,
that's why he was going at Steve Kim and shit. Okay. You picked Mikey. That's why he was mad. He was still mad. People were saying Mikey had a chance, and he was mad.
But to your point now, too, 2K, what you said earlier, this is what we expect from him moving forward. It can't be even if he's fighting Chris Algier in a rematch, just throwing that out there. It needs to be a mixture of this plus the brawling style. He can't have a setback. He can't, you know what I'm saying? He can't
pull a Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, he can't do that no more because then it's gonna be like, if you can do that against Mikey, you can do that against anybody.
Everybody's gonna expect it now. Yeah.
I mean, he should be able to do that against Sean, Danny, at least. Terrence. Hey, it's gonna be a key.
Well,
it's a different animal.
In my opinion, that's what he needed to beat to even. Because, like I said, I had Terrence Crawford 60-40. That type of shit right there we saw last night is what I've always said he needed to do to make that a very competitive fight, and I seen it.
But let me pose this question to you, 2K and Bo, because on y'all show, y'all did point out defensively. He keep his head on the center line, the lack of head movement. Did he show enough of that? Did he show enough of that? Or is there something else he's going to have to answer when he faces a Keith Thurman or Terrence Crawford or somebody that's going to get him prepared for that? Because he did look good boxing. It still wasn't as much head movement, and he still kept his head on the center line and squared himself up a little bit. So now are you looking for the next phase, the final phase, which is the defensive side to come into before you can really say, okay, you know what I'm saying, this guy can not only do what he's doing at welterweight, but he can move up to 154, potentially 160, and be okay defensively, to handle himself well.
Well, I think he did well eluding shots with his lower body movement. And Mikey Garcia would try to come straight down the pipe or straight to solar plexus with a straight right, and he would time that shit and move out the way. He did a great job of that. He did a great job of bouncing on his toes. So that's how he was getting away from shots here and there. But yes, he still has the head on the center line issue. It's still there. And he said in the post fight, I showed you I can move my head. I disagree with that comment.
Yeah, me too. That's what made me scratch my
head very much at all. But what he did was he showed that he's not a plotter. Errol Spence has been flat-footed for 25 fights. or 24 or 24. If last night was 25, you know what I'm saying? So we actually seen him on his toes, bouncing and moving, using lateral movement. Like he moved ridiculously well last night. It was just like I said, Daniel Jacobs against Gennady Golovkin. Jacobs is not a mover. We never seen him move like he did against Gennady Golovkin. You know what I'm saying? If he could move like that, he wouldn't have got knocked out by Dmitry Pirog. You know what I'm saying? So that's what stood out to me, was like, damn, this motherfucker is not just a flat-footed plotter. And I'm telling you guys, even in the sparring and even in amateurs, he's flat-footed, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how he lost to Omar Figueroa, by the way. Omar Figueroa is the same motherfucker he was as an amateur right now. That's how he fought then. That's how he lost to him, because they were in the pocket. Go ahead.
I got another question, because I know this fight ain't even happening, but just a question for Terrence Crawford, his approach. I know just a quick, because you big on breaking down everybody up here, breaking down the fight. Him being a southpaw versus a southpaw Spence, being what we seen last night, do you think that kind of makes Terrence Crawford worry a little bit? I know he's still confident, but he not just a plotter. He showed improvements defensively, at least lower body wise, and just an educated jab. Do you think that he would have to fight him orthodox, or you think he just had that same success when he switches to southpaw as he's done previous opponents?
Well, being a switch hitter is always a problem, right? A la Andre Ward. You know what I'm saying? That's always a problem, especially when you're a switch hitter with a high IQ, right? So I don't think Terrence Crawford's worried about anybody. Terrence Crawford's the type of guy, when he gets in the ring, he adjusts real time anyway. So the game plan might be to stay where he's at. But as things, materialize in the ring, he might make that switch. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I don't think Terrence Crawford's worried about anybody at 147, man.
Damn, that fight gotta happen, man. That shit get my blood boiling. I want to see that fight so bad. I don't
think Terrence Crawford worried about anybody from 147 and beyond. That's his mentality as a fighter. He's got that mentality, period.
Well, I asked him on that conference call with before the Jose Benavidez fight. I asked him if he was thinking about 154. He said, man, 154 has not even crossed my mind. He's like, I'm not even that's probably like 5 years down the line. That's what he said. So
we need to get that Spence Crawford fight soon, man, because this shit. Yeah, man.
Well, shit, tell Keith and them to get up off the belts then.
But that ain't gonna happen.
Well, you listen, Errol Spence is trying to position himself for a Keith Thurman. That's why he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. If he positions himself and takes the WBA regular title, guess what happens then?
Mandate it. And exactly. Make it happen. If Al Heyman can't get him to do it the right way, he'll make fucking sanction it.
Man, look, El DeBarge don't want it.
Oh no.
He don't, man. He want to interview fucking Spence. EJ, call him EJ and shit. That's gay, man. Get out of here. Hey, EJ, this is your guy that's supposed to be fighting you, but I'm going to ask you some questions.
Hold on, man. I got one question though for the panel, man. Yeah. Was I the only one that wasn't believing that shit that Sean Porter was saying when he was trying to explain that green ass outfit as not being a St. Patrick's Day outfit?
That nigga tripping, man.
the nigga looked like a combination of the Black Leprechaun and the Riddler.
Yeah, bro.
He a clown, bro. He a clown. That motherfucker Errol Spence said he can't sell out a family dinner. Shit,
in the DC area, we call his ass a Bama. He's a Bama.
Not to be confused with
not to be confused.
He's
a Bama ass nigga with that shit.
Yeah, Bama ass nigga.
I was looking at this. He was straight trying to explain why that was not a St. Patrick's Day suit and it's a WBC.
He was tickled too, bro. He was tickled about it too. It's not a leprechaun suit. I'm like, shut up.
I'm just like, stop it. It's not a leprechaun.
Yeah. No. Stop it, Errol. You making me blush over here. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
That gay ass nigga. Listen, all of that is because what's his name? Kenny Porter already told everybody he don't let Sean Porter get pussy, man.
So he got a son there, good. Like, who the fuck did he ship his sperm somewhere or something? Because that motherfucker.
Man, he told him. I can't remember what interview it was. Jarrell, that nigga said, "Yeah, Sean Porter." They said something about women. The women, because it was when he won the IBF title, And he said something about the women flocking to him. He said, nah. I deal with the women. He don't deal with the women.
I fuck the hoes.
Yeah, I fuck the hoes, nigga. He don't.
You know what I'm saying?
That was such a suspect moment. That made him so suspect. Oh my gosh.
That lacking fucking hoes. That's what it do to you, man. You got to release that testosterone sometimes, man.
It made him so suspect. Man. Oh my gosh.
You know what's sad to me? John is somewhat likable.
Yeah.
But Kenny, fuck no, bro. Kenny remind me of an old hustling ass dude on the block that you can't fuck with because he always trying to get something from somebody. You understand?
Yeah.
Well, that one old nigga in the hood, you know what I'm saying? That'll try to get $5 for a 40.
Well, that was until Bud sparked his ass in that back alley.
Oh yeah. I like Kenny though, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
He cool, but the Sean cool too. But he just
man.
need to stop talking about Spence if he ain't gonna fight him, man. I'm tired of these fighters being on these comments. Hey, Al, no more welterweights calling these fucking fights Danny, Adrian, Sean, Keith, none of that until they fight each other, man. Because that shit is embarrassing.
I do have a couple of serious questions, fellas. We've exalted Spence on his ability that he showed last night. What do you think, one, even though he displayed the skills, about the criticism that he has still received on social media and whatnot in terms of, oh, Mikey made him go the distance and blah, 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 right. That Crawford would beat him easy, that Pacquiao would beat him. That's one thing. Two, Spence, if you've been up, he's clapped back at some folks. Whether it's George Foreman, and particularly Oscar. His comments, that's where I was going. His comments on Oscar and Golden Boy. What do you think when he had to say, when he said in response to Golden Boy about Golden Boy not treating black fighters well?
He said the same thing Zab Judah said, what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that?
When he fight Danny Garcia, when Danny said that disrespectful shit, or his daddy, Angel said that shit at promoting their fight, and he said something to Oscar, like, you gonna allow him to say something like that, or some shit. But, I mean, when them emails came out, bro, and fucking, I don't know if Oscar De La Hoya fired the dude that fucking put them motherfuckers out.
No, he didn't.
Okay, you got Bernard Harper who cooning, tap dancing, shining their fucking boots. You got fucking De La Hoya stocking wearing ass, condoning the shit pretty much by not doing nothing. Fuck Oscar De La Hoya, man. And he lucky Errol Spence replied the way he did, because I would have said some non-PC shit. That motherfucker would have been hurt. You know what I'm saying? So he telling the truth, man. We all know what it is. That's why one of the reasons they loyal to Al Heyman. You know what I'm saying? But Oscar De La Hoya a snake. That's why Al Heyman screwed him. That's why Richard Schaefer screwed him. And that's why he just got Canelo. He had to go to the zone and conform to John Skipper them and team up with Eddie Hearn and all them motherfuckers, because he ain't got nobody, man. He don't know how to promote nobody. That's why he got Eric Goldman. Everybody always do his work. And I understand that's like that with a lot of people. You put smarter people around you, but De La Hoya don't know how to do. He don't know how to promote at all, bro. So
no, I disagree with that one, because he promoted the shit out of Canelo versus Chavez.
You know how to promote.
We all thought should have been garbage.
You know how to promote. I mean, it's Mexican fighters too, though, man. All you gotta do is tell Mexicans. I ain't gonna say that. Look, all you gotta do is tell Mexicans. Look, you got Chavez Jr. and Canelo. All you hear is Chavez Sr. name, linked to that, and it's gonna sell itself. So I ain't gonna give him all the credit for that. But like you said, he know how to promote Mexicans. He don't know how to promote no black fighters. That's why he always jumping when Wilder beat Ortiz. Wow,
he got Lamont Jr. over there.
Come over here, I'll give you all this money. Anthony Joshua, when he beat Klitschko, whoever it was, Anthony, come over here, I'll give you all this money. He don't know how to promote no brother. You know what I'm saying? That's why they didn't sign no contract with him.
I kind of feel like part of it is him just throwing jabs, throwing shade, and just fucking with him. In my opinion, I don't think he'd be serious when he do that. I think it's just like a. I don't know. I think it's kind of like a fuck you to Al Heyman when he does that.
But my thing is, JG, like you said, though, he got Errol Spence who could potentially be an opponent for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So it's in his best interest to not throw a jab at either one of those guys. Because
also too, you got to remember something, man. and they said it last night. The fight, Errol Spence got man down promotions. See, a lot of these dudes is trying. A lot of these dudes trying to do their own thing, like Devin Haney. Devin Haney got his own promotional company. Earl Spence got his own promotion.
Got one, and just all for
right. Yeah, Adrian Bro. So a lot of these dudes, they trying to do their own thing anyway, right? But now here's something that a lot of guys that also look at. It's hard for you as an established fighter to trust Oscar. Canelo Alvarez, in the biggest fight of his career when he was going in against Floyd Mayweather, Oscar had to be checked into a drug and rehab program. You got the question. Hey, do I really want to trust this dude? With what I'm saying, with my business, I really want to trust him.
Black too, then you like I said in the video,
right?
You gonna have to, if you want Spence, you gonna have to. If you want any black fighter that really care about the shit that was put out in your email, you're gonna have to severely overpay them if you want them to sign anything.
But to answer my question, the problem, Mike, that you got is those people that don't want to give Spence credit for what they saw because he didn't run through Mikey, or don't want to give Mikey credit. Those people have already made up their mind about the agenda they're gonna push. They already knew, hey, if Earl go 12, I'm gonna shit on him. If Earl knock him out, run him over, I'm gonna shit on him. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even try to combat, institutionalized stupidity. I don't try to combat that shit. We can't combat that shit. Unfortunately, it's just we gotta understand it's a part of boxing. That's why I say I don't call them niggas, I don't call none of them motherfuckers casuals. Them motherfuckers is haters who only watch boxing because they want to see a motherfucker they don't like get his ass whooped, but they're not even casuals. But if anybody saw what they saw last night and didn't walk away impressed with what you saw from Earl and what you saw from Mikey, then, like I said, you shouldn't be on this panel talking boxing as far as I'm concerned. And if I see you on here, I'm gonna kick you the fuck off.
In the world of 2K, you a whole ass nigga. You a whole ass nigga. If you can't respect neither one of them guys, man. And like somebody in my video posted last night.
I tweeted last. I text last night. I said, anybody that got a question, Mikey, go to the gym tomorrow and let a motherfucker beat on you 12 rounds and tell me if you're gonna take it for 12.
I was amazed at the chin he showed. I mean, he showed a better beard at 47 against Spence than he did at 26 and 30.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Hey, Jarrell, them t-shirts coming out soon, man. You a hoe ass nigga shirts. I'm be selling those.
Hey, bro, look, bro, I did a little reaction video last night, and I said in the title, Errol Spence beat the brakes off Mikey, which he fucking did. The motherfucker gonna say, I ain't say he beat the shit out of him. I don't know what I said in the video, but he was like, Errol didn't beat the shit out of Mikey. He didn't knock him down, didn't even hurt him first. Like, he did hurt him. It wasn't like he hurt him numerous times later on in the fight. He's talking about
dog. Beat the shit out of domination when they see it.
Exactly. I said it was a systematically beat the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? He broke his will. It was one in the 9th round. He hit Mikey with a body shot. I thought Mikey was about to go take a shit.
That's like telling me watching the NCAA championship, the national championship, that them motherfuckers didn't get their ass beat. Oh no, they didn't get whooped. They just had a couple missed touchdowns and get the fuck out of here.
They don't understand. There's different ways to get your ass beat. It can be a close fight, close whatever, and still,
dominance is dominance, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
Dominance. It don't matter what fucking form it come in, it's still dominant.
And he beat the fuck out of Mikey.
That's what I'm saying. Like whenever I'm around 2K, I'm the dominant motherfucker.
Hey, that's why I was kind of disappointed with Mikey in the post-fight interview, because he you know what I'm saying? Like, the girl was like, you can do it. You can say what welterweights say that you went 12 rounds. I'm like, no, Mikey, don't take that shit, because you was talking cash money shit leading up to the fight.
Right.
No, I'm disappointed. I got my ass beat. I don't care if I went 12 rounds. Do you see a belt around my waist? All right, then. But I did it for my fans. I survived 12 rounds. Like, shut the fuck up, Mikey.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else peeked at the end of each of the rounds. It was like he was celebrating.
Yeah.
I don't know if he does that every fight, but
no, he don't.
I made it through.
Nah, he doesn't.
I made it through.
I was like, it's that Texas shit, because when we both said it, I was like, yeah, that nigga he knows somebody that's about to fucking fuck these scorecards up, because he keep tooting to the air and shit. I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, we was kind of clowning that shit. I wasn't, but the John Gatlin and Ego were making fun of that nigga doing that.
Because he just tried to play up to the crowd, man. That's the shit right there. When you get in that ass whoop, you try to play up to the crowd and hope the judge will see your ass and shit. So he played it. He played himself. And what you said earlier, 2K, that it wasn't no intelligence behind selecting his opponent. He could have damn near got himself killed in that motherfucker. We don't know what fucking effects is gonna happen once he, days removed from this ass whooping he received. So he played himself, bro. If he that's just stupid.
Exactly. I agree 100%. And Bo, don't think I'm gonna let that comment slide, nigga. The next couple articles, Bo, right? He might find them motherfuckers not get posted.
I just put my name on the bus.
Lord knows that. Hey, you need a new head. That happened. Motherfuckers take notice when their name ain't on no article.
Hey, look, you need a new head of public relations, man. Be like Michael,
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Mike
look, man.
Hey, 2K, what Michael? We said, hey, 2K, what's going on? I wrote that article and it's still not up yet. What's going on? No problems, is it?
My name was on there, and Terrell showed him the picture of it. He said, "No, at the top." He said,
"Put some respect on my name."
He was right. I couldn't say shit about that either. I was like, "Damn, my bad, bro. Let me change that shit."
Yo, man, what do y'all think about that goddamn that Areola fight though?
Fuck that John Pierce.
I didn't see that fight, unfortunately.
Man, look, he should have fought Jalen Love because both of them motherfuckers was trying to hug and dance and shit. Because Jalen was trying to hug and kiss Dave Benavidez and this motherfucker.
Our boy Tanner. Hey, all I know is Tanner got some explaining to do.
Well, hold on, Jarrell. Are you trying to say that the interview Tanner was going to get us with Augustine, we should turn that down?
Hey, I ain't saying. Hey, look, hey, did we get it? Is it official?
No, it ain't official.
Yeah, you know what, man? We too busy. You know what I'm saying? We just get like shit.
That's fucked up, man.
I mean, I got respect for all fighters, but that shit was whack, man. That shit was weak. That shit was pathetic. He was trying to whisper to, hey, Chris, don't hit me too hard. You know what I'm saying? Just swing hard enough. I'll move and, I'm going to fall down. I can't, man, come on, John.
That shit was bad, man. He looked very bad. Now, I was telling Cats before the fight, I was like, yeah, this dude is supposed to be really good. He's supposed to give Chris Arreola a good fight. And then when that shit happened, them niggas looked at me. I was like, I just said supposed to, nigga. I didn't say he was.
But you know what though?
Slide down to the seat after you like, oh shit.
But see, that goes back to something me and 2K supposed to be doing a show about these matchmakings. This was a situation where Cal was a prospect. And they was trying to move him up, and they put him in there. And this was poor matchmaking. They put him in there against a better veteran than what they thought. And he got his ass beat. He got his ass whooped.
Arreola fought that motherfucker like he was a huge burrito, boy. He was getting that as soon as the bear run. That motherfucker was on his ass. I was like,
yep. Hey, real quick, Anthony Durrell, man, how long that nigga gonna hold that belt, Mike?
If he fights Ramirez, not long. Benavidez, not long.
Well, Benavidez is WBC and recess, WBC champion in recess. He's the mandatory now.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna lose against Benavidez. Benavidez is gonna beat him up.
Yeah, because in the post-fight presser last night, they were trying to ask him questions about Callum Smith and Caleb Plant. And Benavidez is like, I don't give a fuck about none of them niggas. I want my belt back.
he said with Anthony and get him in the ring. And Anthony was smiling when he was doing the interview with the old girl. He's like, yeah, great fighter. He's a great fighter. It's gonna be, it's gonna be an exciting fight. I give Anthony that. He can crack it. He tough, but
as soon as he step in the ring with Benavidez, it's a wrap. Durrell's not beating him.
Nope. He might get stopped.
And let me just say, as an aside, I know in a way it's good. I know Tete is good, but Miri is a problem, a big problem.
We go. This nigga said he a big problem. Is he a big problem off the juice or on the juice?
I mean, look. Take that controversy aside. I don't care.
Take it aside with boxing, man. It's the juice, man. This ain't baseball. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we talked about that earlier. I think Louis Nery needs to fight. He needs to go in a different direction for now because Richard Schaefer said that Louis Nery is the best bantamweight in the world. That's absolutely not true, in my opinion. But he just needs to go a different route. I say, what's his name? He was talking about Nordine Aoubali. He's the mandatory for that belt. I think that's a good fight. What do you think about that fight, Mike?
He knocks him out.
Oh, no, man. I don't think so, man.
He knocks him out.
Aoubali's good, man. I don't know about that, man. I don't know.
With a name like that, you don't know. Aoubali.
Don't miss me. No, Rasheed Warren, that proves nothing. Rasheed
Warren.
No,
Aoubali's good, period. Rasheed Warren, no, trust me. I don't like Rasheed Warren. Never have. That means nothing to me. I'm looking at Aoubali's skill set and comparing to what I've seen Louis Nery do. It's a good fight. I think Nery wins it. I don't think he's going to just sleep this motherfucker like he ain't shit, though. If he does, then yeah, I want to see him against Naoya or Tate. But that's my point. Going a different route to see, because McJoe Arroyo ain't shit either. McJoe Arroyo got his ass slaughtered at 115 by Jerwin and Cajas. You know what I'm saying?
He lost to Rasheed Warren, too.
And he lost to him. So I don't really care about McJoe Arroyo. I want to see him in there with somebody like a Nordine Aoubali, a fucking Ryan Burnett, right? And then I mentioned Joshua Greer earlier because Top Rank loves him and everybody loves this nigga. I don't know why, but I like to see those fights.
I never thought much of Ryan Burnett.
Yeah. I like Ryan Burnett, but he was getting pieced up. He was getting pieced up by Nonito before.
Ryan Burnett has been he's been average in my opinion throughout. I don't think much of him at all.
It's the UK way, ain't it?
Yeah.
If Nery fought Burnett, he'd knock him out as well.
Damn, you high on that motherfucker shit. He must come down there so that weed or some shit.
Hey, who was it on here that said he was never impressed with Louis Nery? Did he leave?
Yeah, he just left Tavares. Yeah, he said he ain't been impressed with that motherfucker. Yeah. He watched him several times.
Yeah, he said he don't like Louis Nery. So, that would have been a good little debate, but it is what it is.
Tell on the next time. We don't like cheaters, I guess. You know, we don't want the juice. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what he do. Hey, he might need to be on that juice against Anoya or Tate. But Tate kind of chinny, but you know.
I think he beats Tate.
You think he do?
Yeah, Noye, that's a whole nother fucking problem for him.
Yeah, Noye, boy, I can't wait to see him. He gonna do it, my boy Emmanuel Rodriguez so bad it ain't funny.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That motherfucker goes, but all right. Till next time, man. I'm about to wrap it up, man. Y'all plug everything before I get out of here. Start with you, Michael, since it's your first time being on the show.
My apologies for being late. First off, you want to talk boxing or whatever with me, you can check me out on Twitter, Brother JR76, Pound for Pound Boxing Report, weekly show on YouTube, podcast and whatnot. If you want to find out all information about that, just go to p4pboxingreport.wordpress.com. All the information is on the right portion of the blog page.
All right. Well, you heard Blank, man. I mean, Michael.
You know what?
Hey, truth and facts about sports. Tell them where they can get you at, man.
Man, of course, as always, you can find me at Truth and Facts about sports, and you can also find me on the weekly, twice a week show, Mondays 8:30, Thursdays at 8:30 on Three Kings Boxing Podcast.
9:30. Everybody operates off Eastern time.
Oh, okay. Then you right. 9:30. 9:30 at the Three Kings Boxing Podcast on the Prodigy of Boxing Talk. And if you want to catch any of my articles, anything I write, just go to threekingsboxing.com where we do interviews. We talk to trainers, real boxing talk by real guys that fight or have been in the ring or have followed the sport from real fighters and real trainers, not stalking motherfuckers on Instagram, not stalking motherfuckers on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? No, we get it directly from the horse's mouth. We don't do secondhand shit around here.
Right.
But you heard it from Shaq's replacement on Icy Hot guy. JG, tell them where they can reach you at, bro.
Yeah, everybody can reach me at DMV Dallas Cowboys. I cover a lot of Dallas Cowboys talk on my channel, but as a lot of you guys may not have known, but I did a lot of Colossal Boxing Talk with Jarrell before, so from time to time, me and Jarrell do a lot of collaboration. So, but you can find me mainly on DMV Dallas Cowboys.
And that's the guy that looked like John Wall and every other nigga with a fucking fade. All right, 2K.
Nah, man, it's nothing here, man. Just everybody already covered it. Just go to 3kingsboxing.com to get the latest, greatest in boxing information and news, interviews, things of that nature. Also, as Bo mentioned, the podcast on my channel, Prodigy Boxing Talk, every Monday and Thursday, 9:30 Eastern Time, 8:30 Central, 6:30 Pacific. Follow us on Twitter at 3kingsboxing, Instagram at 3kingsboxing, of course, the Facebook page, facebook.com/3kingsboxing. Everything we do is on that Facebook page. You might, if you might miss something, fight recaps, all of that shit. We cover it all. So all the information you need, boxing related, it's on 3kingsboxing.com, straight up.
Well, that's the egghead nigga that barely holding on to a little bit of hair on his head. Anyway, they calling me Jarrell, which is my name, but these niggas know I'm Big Cool, lead journalist over there at 3kingsboxing.com. Hopefully after this wedding, after I give my life away, I'll be back. I'll be able to join them.
I didn't know, man. Congratulations, man.
Monday and Thursday on the podcast.
Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. I'll let you know if it's a congratulatory worthy after the first year. But nah, seriously, I love my baby. She know that. Anyway,
standing by you with that goddamn pen. She's standing by you with that damn rolling pin over your head.
Hey, she definitely not here. She at work. But anyway, I'm Big Cool. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, share these videos. Make sure y'all check out 3kingsboxing.com, 3kingsboxing, the Facebook page, 3kingsboxing, Instagram, Twitter, everything, man. We in it. We knee deep in the shit. You know what I'm saying? And maybe one of these fights will take one of y'all hoes. But anyway, look, man.
Hey, I was on that last night. Hey, I was like, man, because I had, when you down there, the hoes be looking like, well, who is that nigga with the pass? Who is that nigga?
He got the shot. He got the laminated neck plate. What is that? Oh shit! He got pictures on it. Them the hoes that just graduated high school and college and shit. They don't know no better. Like, oh man,
I'm telling you, bro. I was like, man. Hey, I was looking at niggas like, bro, your hoe about to get snatched, man. You need to put a clamp on that bitch, man. Lucky y'all niggas. Lucky I'm married, boy. I'd have took about 8-9 hoes last night.
Hey, shit. What happens if Dallas if the fight stays in Dallas at the fight? You know what I'm saying? No, man. We just bullshitting.
I don't think it's appropriate being as a married man to be talking.
My apologies. I gotta leave 3 Kings because
is your wife around, Bo?
No,
Mike, you weren't here for that guy.
That was 2K's boy. We gotta put that one on 2K because we didn't know that nigga.
Yeah, we gonna fuck with him, man. Cause he still follows the channel and supports everything we do. So I ain't gonna clown him on live.
I will. But, I don't know his name. Oh, Erica, that's his name. But hey, look, we don't give a fuck. We light you up. We beat Twine ass up, and that's the only thing. we live. What you call him? Be wanking.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
And them the only niggas we gonna mention that we associate ourselves with. Because the other two some fuck niggas. Anyway, man, we out this bitch, man. Hey, look, man, we out this bitch, man. Y'all make sure y'all do what y'all do. Till next time, we all out. Peace.